Hello, everyone, once again. I think my voice is okay, or at least I hope it is. Let me check my volume here. Wait a minute. Right there. Well, darn it. No, 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 no. Oh, my God. So I am back, you guys. Well, hello, Lenore, and welcome in. I had to redo this stream because my voice seemed to be I would make a statement and it would come in, I would be talking, and then that statement would come in later. And welcome in, Ginger. Thank you, Brian. Am I okay? Can everyone hear? That's crazy. If they can't do no better than that, my goodness. So I hope everyone can hear and things like that. But my voice had like I would talk, the words would come on and it was all messed up. So I hope everyone can hear and everything like that. And welcome, welcome, everyone. It is 113 degrees outside today, and it's hot. So I had to go into town to get my hair done. And I came back and took a power nap. And welcome in, Ash. Good to see you. And I took a power nap for about an hour and I come out of like a champion. So all I can say, air conditioner, do your thing. So tonight, guys, we're gonna do some special things. We are going to have glassware starting at $1. Yes, you heard correct. $1. And this will be for those who are in the chat. If someone emails me and says, well, I'd like that for $1, and I'll say, I'm sorry, but it was for this show only. So that's the way that works. It's just something that I want to do for you guys. I think it stimulates the chat and it gets exciting, and we all want excitement, right? Thank you, Lenore, for dropping that. We want that excitement factor. And you say, well, she's lost her mind. No, this is my way of showing appreciation. And this is not just going to be glass, it's going to be vintage and it's going to have a name behind it. So, before anyone comes in the chat, please make sure you hit that thumbs up. Sharing this after the fact and adding a comment would be wonderful. It's good to see you guys. It always lightens my spirit to look out there and see you guys. You're amazing, and I so appreciate you. Let me get a drink. I have a dry throat. Thank you so much, Lenore. Also tonight, for any purchase, we're going to put your name in this box with a shoe on it. And I'm going to put your name in the box, and whose ever name comes out of this box will be the winner of who knows what, because I'm looking around here and somebody's going to win something, I guarantee you. And I always do very nice prizes because after all, I really appreciate you guys. And there's my little sister, Gia. Welcome in, sweetheart. It's so good to see you. Well, I could reach over and like grab that big thing of amethyst over there. You never know, because I know you're here for me and I am here for you. So that's what that's about. So we bid in $1 increments. Up to 10 is $2. After 50 is 5. After 100 is 5, and after whatever that comes after is 5 as well. Yes, Laura, and I appreciate that. Laura's got some things going on, and I really appreciate her being here with us. And but you know, Laura has been a very good friend to me, and we just love one another, and that's all I can say. You know, you know, if we need a sounding board, we're there for one another. And it's just wonderful to know that here, let me put that in there, Lenore, and thanks for jogging my memory because when I get running my mouth, I forget. So look at me typing like a champion today. Better not say that. I could make a mistake. So there is my email right there, guys. And thank you, Lenore, for prompting my memory. Lenore is another wonderful, you know, you're all wonderful. But Lenore, I've seen her in many chats. She drops links, she helps the reseller, and she's really a blessing, guys. I mean, she's on it. Just saying, not to say that I don't love each and every one of you, but I want to give credit where credit is due because Lenore means a lot to a lot of people. So, by the way, what do you think of my hair color, guys? I had some major roots going on, and I had to go get that magical color, but I always liked the red, so that's what we went with. So, yes, make sure everyone hits. Thank you. I love red. You know, red is in my spirit. Thank you, Lenore. And I'm just sassy like that. But anyway, you guys are wonderful. I think so much of you. And you're, oh my goodness, Gia. My husband told me if you love it that much, keep it and welcome in Joanne. But Gina is full of surprises, and you never know when that's going to come out. Will it be, you know, you never know. Because I always try to, Lord have mercy, I've been cleaning up here and it's a hot mess. You never know. I'm very sporadic in my decisions. You never know what's coming. Thank you, Joanne. I had some roots, and Gina don't like roots. And the sad part, there was some gray in it. And my hairdresser says, "Well, you was just painting and paint dripped in your hair." I said, "Oh, now I know why I love you so much. Not only are you a fantastic hair designer, you boost my ego, right?" So, like they said, give them what they came here for. So, to whet your appetite and get you ready for what's coming, we are going to begin with our very first $1 item. And it's funny that Gia said swan because the very first thing coming out of the gate is going to be a swan, and it is a trinket dish. And I grabbed it, it was downstairs, so it might be a little dusty. But we're going to get this party started with a $1 bid. Let me take a picture real quick so I can tell you. I know it's vintage. I mean, that's the only thing that I deal in is vintage glass. It seems to be my forte. And then, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So that tells you a lot. You know, I was downstairs and I just grabbed something and took it upstairs. And incidentally, if that by chance this doesn't sell, which it probably will, It's this show only. No one can email me and say, hey, you had this swan for $1. Can I have it? No, 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 no. This is for THO. So, actually, this is a vintage. Thank you, Ginger. I really appreciate that. You guys are amazing. You know, you just make my day. So, when you look things up like this, I think we're dealing with a Jeanette Glass piece, guys. And you're like, she's offering a Jeanette Glass piece vintage for $1. Well, sure I am. And it's from the 1940s, guys. So, with that being said, I am going to offer this beautiful swan Jeanette Glass. It's either a trinket holder, it says lipstick holder, or whatever. There's your inside. It's absolutely vintage. And there's a little bag in there. And I'll give you measurements. And what did I do with my measuring thing? And this beautiful swan, no, it's not. It's got a boo-boo. Hey, this has got a boo-boo on it, guys, and it's going up for $1, but it's right there. But hey, guys, it's worth $1. It's vintage. It doesn't. You can't tell unless you look. So we're going to bring up this swan for $1. It's where is my? I tell you, if I didn't. I had that darn mint. Here we go. That's bad when you put a measuring. And Ginger says $1, and we do have a boo-boo, guys. But we're talking vintage Jeanette Glass, and I'm very transparent. Right there is the little spot. It really has nothing much to do with. I mean, it's there, but I don't think it affects the beauty. As a matter of fact, I didn't notice it. So we have Ginger in for $1. We have a swan. You could put this in your bathroom. You could put Q-tips in there. I'll give you a measurement. So we got Ginger in for $1, y'all. She's gonna walk with this piece because I am not playing. So Ginger may be the owner of a wonderful. There's a boo-boo on it, but we all know that because I'm very transparent. So this is coming in at about 4.5 inches. It is vintage. It is Jeanette Glass. Thank you. And it does have a boo-boo on it. I better put this around my neck or I'll just totally lose it. So Ginger is going to make a major score if I don't see any bids coming in. There you have your beautiful Jeanette Glass swan. High quality. We're getting ready to call it down, guys. Ginger's gonna, like I said, it does have a boo-boo, but it's very insignificant for what it is, and it's not like it's cracked all the way across. We're gonna start calling this down to Ginger for $1 because I don't see anyone coming in for that. So Ginger will be getting this beautiful swan. Going once, going twice, fair warning, and we are sold to Ginger, and I do have your information. Congratulations, you get the first, and of course it does have a boo-boo, but it is still usable. And congratulations, Ginger, you just picked up a real beauty for a little bit of nothing there. And congratulations. Congratulations. And it goes to Ginger, and I have your information. And thank you so much, Ginger. Ginger said, I can't believe I just got that for $1. So You know, it's just a little something that I like to do. I didn't realize it had that little boo-boo, but it's, like I said, it's still functionable. That goes to ginger. Yay, that's first dollar item. So we will put this over here. Okay, guys, the next thing up, we all know it's summertime because it's hot as the dickens out there. So I've had these for a while, guys, and they're really, really nice. And I have 6 of them. And what this has a, I'm going to check this for uranium glass, y'all. I see something suspicious. It has a green tone to it. This just may have, it's not uranium. I see some glowing in it, guys. I don't know if you can see that. It may be very hard to see. It does have, and that's okay, Gia. We're glad you're here. And we all know what this is. This is for like ice cream to make a sundae or whatever. I do have 7 of them. They are vintage, as a matter of fact. But I just got kind of suspicious because I seen a little green to that. So you always want to check to make sure. Take a quick picture because I've had these for a while and they're going. So let me make a picture. But wouldn't it be nice to have these, and if you're entertaining and it's on a hot day and you can make a sundae and put it in that? Yes, Gia, it is vintage and looking very impressive. It's 6, Laura. It's 6. We're going to search that image because I've had these for a while and I'm not going to hang on to something. Okay, they are vintage clear glass sundae dish or ice cream parfait glass. It's ginger, they're all going. And they are vintage, and manufacturers, as a matter of fact, of this beautiful glassware was. It is not Anchor Hawking because it does not have the Anchor Hawking. Companies like Anchor Hawking and Jeanette Glass Company were known for producing similar glassware. All right, I have 6. Let me verify. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6. I'm going to do something that's totally insane. They're all going as a set, and I'm going to start the bid at $12 for all of them. And if you do the math, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. These are $2 a piece, and I'm going to start the bid at 12. They are parfait or sundae glasses, as you can see. The rest of them are wrapped up. I had them. I probably showed them. This is numbered on the bottom. It's a great price. It makes them $2 a piece. Hey, that's better than a yard sale. $2 a piece? Really? Really? They're going to be $2. We're going to start them at 12, and I'll give you a measurement on them. Very nice to make a head like a parfait or something and set it in the refrigerator and then bring them out at a later time. But they're very nice, and they are vintage, and they are 5 inches tall and approximately almost 4 inches deep. $12 would make you holler, wouldn't it, Gia? So you get the whole set for 12. That's $2 a piece for glass. Unheard of. That's almost better than something for $1, right? Not quite, but almost. Get a drink of my coffee. No takers on this beautiful gingers that I done talked her right up into it. So we have ginger in at 12. And they are beautiful, and there's a ribbing. This is ribbed, kind of like that. And if you're entertaining, you can't beat them. So we have ginger in at that $12 bid. That's a deal, steal of a deal. So unless I see someone coming in at 14 or better, we're going to call this down for ginger. And ginger's made a killing thus far. But hey, you know, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to hang on to things that I don't need. I always scream for ice cream. Wouldn't that be nice? Whew, you ain't kidding. It's. I think the thermometer was 113 out there. Good thing I got back. I got my hair done and then I came back in. So we're going to call this down for Miss Ginger. We're not messing around. So we're going to go once to Miss Ginger. That's a great deal. We're going to go twice. Final and fair warning. And we're going to sell that here. And if somebody don't come in, we're going to mark it sold, fair warning, and sold. So congratulations, Ginger. I think you'll enjoy these. They are nice. Shoot. I unwrapped this. These were wrapped, guys. And they were in a box in there, and I said, well, I don't need them. Don't hang on to them, right? So that goes to Ginger, another steal of a deal. Sometimes when we do the math, it really helps on our decision. But that's wonderful, Ginger. Thank you so much. And those are yours. Congratulations. Great, great. And I'll just put them. As a matter of fact, they're in a box that I could automatically work things in there and ship them, but those are yours. Thank you so much. My favorite is just plain old vanilla. It can't be a yellow casted vanilla. It has to be the white vanilla. You're like, boy, she's picky. Okay. Now this is freshly thrifted, guys. And Brian said, "Oh no, she ain't going to do that." Oh yes, I am. So let's go into the gallery here. Coffee ice cream, but I hate drinking coffee. Brian said, "I know what she's doing." So this is a fresh thrift from yesterday. And there's so many pieces, I've kind of slept since then. This is a vintage Indiana glass. Um, Vintage Indiana glass, Whitehall Cubist avocado green glassware. Of course, it's manufactured by Indiana Glass. It holds about 12 ounces. And as you can see, it is such a beautiful shade of green. And I have 7 of these, guys. 7. So I'm going to start the bid on these I'm going to have to start them at 14. So we have, and there again, let's do that math. That's $2 a piece for vintage glassware, Indiana glass. And incidentally, this was the very glass that's 4 of these sold for $55 online. 7. So they are gorgeous and they are footed. And I'll give you a measurement on them. That's the first time I really ever was able to find something green, good for tea. Yes, it is good for tea. Let me turn this around the right direction. Yeah, it's 6 inches from the top of the rim to the bottom of the foot. It holds 12 inches, 12 ounces. Green tea. Yeah, green tea is good for you. It's $2 a pop. That is vintage, and this is Indiana glass. Whitehall, Cubist, avocado green. And like I said, I saw 4 on the site that were selling rather expensively. And evidently, this is a collectible. Let me get that off of there. And someone sold 10 of these for $76. Yes, green tea is very good for, it's good, it's a medicinal type thing. Brian says 14s, don't say anything else, just sell them to me. So we have Brian in at 14. They are lovely. They are already pre-wrapped. I just brought this one out as an example. So Brian's in at 14. I think he expressed something about green glass, and that's what we got. We have, excuse my. So unless I see any other bids, we're going to start calling this down for Brian. We need to see 16 or better. If not, we're just going to start calling this down to Brian. I think he'll, these are not, I mean, they're really nice. So we'll give it just a few minutes in case there's a lag. We know that sometimes lags are synonymous with YouTube. So I don't see anyone coming in. So we're going to start the countdown on these beautiful Indiana glass. So I don't see any other bids. So we're going to start calling this down for Brian. Going once, going twice. Final and last call. And it looks like, Brian, these beauties are going to be coming to you because we are sold to Brian. Congratulations, sweetie. They are very nice. And you can't beat the price. I call that being a poet and didn't know it. So we'll put this over here. We'll move Ginger's over here in the box. As a matter of fact, we will just put them together. Next. So let me put this one with it. So I had this in a short, and man, it was a 1600 viewer, which I was so surprised. Oh, yes, I'm kind of guilty of that. And we're putting this up, and what this is, let me go back in my notes here. Let's see here, gallery. Guys, Lusterware coming up next. So I'm going to tell you what this is. This is a very special piece, and it is silver plated around the little basket. And it is Raymond lead handmade crystal and silver plate made in England. So, and it's either for, it's a footed dish. It is either for candy or nuts. Okay, let me see. And it is mid-century modern. And I'm going to start this at 12 also. And let's take a look at what, and that is That is, I didn't clean it, guys, because, you know, I just didn't. So that is real silver plate. As you can see, I left the patina on there because a lot of people like that look. So I'm going to give you a measurement on this outrageously gorgeous piece, and we'll start right at the handle and come down right, and it's about 9 inches from handle to base. And then the piece itself going across is about a couple marks over 4.5 inches. It is approximately, this is really something else, guys, about 2.5 inches deep. And we're starting it at 12. Is that, we still have the sticker right there on that. And get it to cooperate. I kind of like to get these things with the stickers on them, and there it is. So it does have a sticker. It is beautiful. It could use a little wipe down, but that's what they make Windex for, right? Hey, Merche, welcome in, sweetie. But this is amazing, guys. And let me see if it is lead crystal. I don't see any other information on it. It's genuine lead crystal made in England. This is a very sweet thing here. And I was just amazed by the way that this is lifted on the outside. Sometimes my camera don't focus quite like it should. And it's a little basket for nuts or candy. Made in England. Yes, Gia. It's got some weight to it. And that one is starting at 12. You can tell it's hot outside when I'm sitting here. The air is over there and it's blowing this way. But when you have 113 degrees, so get a drink of water. So we will pass on that. If anyone is interested, I don't know what happened to my usually well, if you go to my YouTube page, it's in my description. My email is, and that is available if anyone be interested in that. That's an amazing piece, and we will put that over here. So, my goodness, this thing's heavy. Whoa! So I showed this. This was from a fresh thrift yesterday, and yes, it is lead crystal. It's heavy. You can hear that ping, and I just thought it was wonderful. This thing is beautiful, and as you can see, you have that diamond point that normally occurs in a lot of West Point pieces. But let me relook this up. It is heavy. Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. So let me go back. Back. And they said in the beginning there were so many pictures that she didn't know what to do, right? So, but I know this is a good one, guys. But I'm going to warn you, it does have weight to it. So, and this is going to be an insane price. Okay, this is a vintage cut crystal dating back to the mid 20th century. And it says, due to the density of the crystal, these vases are typically quite heavy. And they said similar pieces are often associated with Bohemian crystal or French crystal from the 1950s. So, this is insane. We are going to start this beauty at $15. And guys, that's a deal. You've got the weight. You've got the vintage history behind it. That's really cheap. I mean, you're getting something that is vintage. It does weigh a little bit, but that's it's coming in at about, this is 11 inches, guys, and that is a deal. I'm telling you, it's a deal. Let's go down in the middle here, and it looks like it's about 8 inches deep. It is gorgeous, and that's what the starting bid is. That's cheap, guys. It really is, because you've got quality here. And in comes Minnie, and she said 15. Welcome in, sweetheart. And Gia said, buy it today. Keep it safe and secure forever because it's vintage treasure. Yes, Gia, I agree. Thank you. Thank you, Minnie, for coming. This does have some weight to it. I would tell you what it was, but my scale is downstairs, my weighing station. So we have Minnie in at 50. This is, oh my God, this is so gorgeous. So we have Minnie in at that $15 bid. This is so beautiful, guys. So if someone else would like to come in, we need to see a $17 bid or better. If not, we're going to call this down because it's that good. And welcome in, Merche, if I didn't catch you before. So we're going to start calling this down. This is one heck of a deal. Let me look and see what this sells for. So with that being said, it's diamond cut lead crystal. It is, I will tell you, it is heavy. So we're just going to start calling this down for Minnie. God, that's gorgeous. So we're going once to Minnie. I'm going to put that down before I get a cramp in my side. Going twice. Final and last call. And we are sold to Minnie. Congratulations, honey. This is so beautiful. I mean, it's breathtaking. And congratulations, sweetheart. Congratulations. We will tag it for Miss Minnie. Thank you so much. Sold. No, Minnie don't waste no time. If she's like me, if she sees something she wants, she's all in it. I'm telling you. I'll set this back here. You got to be in it to win it. Okay, I'm getting ready to bring up this Lusterware set. And as you know, Lusterware is kind of hard to come by in good vintage condition, which this is in good vintage condition. And this, on that short I did, this, the camera really took very good advantage of the colors in this. Guys, you don't see Lusterware. A lot of it's been broken, chipped, cracked, and everything like that, but not this one, just saying. So let me get something to drink before I forgot, guys. I am so bad. Let me back up, guys. Here I offered to do a drawing for the purchasers, and I sit here and didn't do it. So Ginger gets 2 in there. I'm sorry. Sometimes you have to say, hey, lady. So Ginger she will have 2 in here. Let's see. I am so sorry. You're like, lady, get with it. And so here's Ginger. Here's her name. We're going to put it in there. It just occurred to me, and I looked over and I saw that. And we're going to fold these twice. And it's going to be very fair. Ginger gets another one in there. And from what I could see, there's no telling who's going to get what, but I guarantee you it's going to be good. Because that's the way I roll. So there's Ginger. Brian gets his name in there because he bought those glasses. So we'll put, there's 2 for Ginger, 1 for Brian. And yet again, there will be 1 for Minnie. And then we'll shake the little box here and we'll find out who is going to get what. And Minnie. Of course, Minnie was the last one to buy something, so she's going in there just like everyone that buys something and has just as good a chance. Better late. That's true, Brian. Better late than never. I always say that. But I also say I would rather be a whole lot early than a little bit early than a whole lot late. So there we have it. And to keep it, of course, there's only one here in the house is being my daughter. But we're just going to put the lid on it. It's going right there. See, nothing up my sleeves because I don't have any. Yes, this is the necklace. And then I got these from Elizabeth K. Arts. And how appropriate are these? Thank you. I was guilty of removing a little bit of patina, but I did leave some up here. So now that we've made all the wrong things right, we will continue with the sale. So as you can see, we have a Lusterware set. The only thing that I see, the coloring is amazing. It's a 3-piece set. Yeah, Elizabeth K. Right after I bought this Merche and went to Elizabeth K's, she had those. Now, how coincidental is that? So, I mean, there's no chips or cracks. It's a 3-piece set. It is absolutely breathtaking, might I add. It is the most beautiful peach that you have ever seen. Here is your teapot. Genesis, don't you have bong? I miss bong. No, no, Gia, you will not find a bong here. No, I got this from Doug, Raven's Chest. I got that from him. Now, Gia, you will find nothing like that here, but to each their own. So we have a 3-piece set. Here is your lid. And yes, it needs to be cleaned up, and I can do that. So we have a 3-piece set with the teapot. Now, guys, Lusterware is hot. And the reason why it's so hot is because you can't find it that looks like this. Let's see. We're going to start. This is crazy. So I saw your picture with your husband and daughter. Great picture. You're just as pretty as you were then. Oh, thank you, Minnie. You know, so many memories. You know, Shannon is an adult now. That's my daughter. And it's just like the years have flown. Okay, guys, get ready. Hold on to your hats. And there's Jessica. Welcome in, sweetie. Because I am offering, this is crazy. I am going to offer all 3 of these pieces for $20. $20. All 3. They are in excellent condition. They are beautiful. It is Lusterware. You don't see it Brian said, "Are you kidding me? I'm in at 20." He said, "Are you kidding me?" No, I am not. But there are a few little faux pas, with your glaze on here, but it is Lusterware. But this is in beautiful condition. It's probably from the 50s. So so we have Brian in at 20. You're a very smart fella, because I'm telling you, you're not going to find Lusterware in this shape. And it is the most beautiful peach. So we're not going to mess around unless I see $22 or better. We're going to start calling it down. Yeah, I remember that. So we're going to call this down because time is of the essence. So unless I see a $22 bid, we're going to call this down to Brian. Congratulations, sweetheart. It is spectacular. And I know that any reseller that watches this after the fact is going to say the woman's crazy. So we're going to go once to Brian for $20. That's a heck of a deal. We're going to go twice to Brian for 20. Final and last call. And we are sold to Brian. And I'm sure that I offer things, I get deals, and that's what I offer. I'm not here to become a millionaire, because we know that doesn't happen. But when I get a good deal, you do. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that will watch later on and say, "You're welcome, Brian. She sold that for $20. Yeah, I did. And guess what? It's mine. I bought it. So I sold it for what I wanted to." Right? Right. Brian, Brian, you better get that shelf built. You better get, I bet me and Laura expect to hear in the distance sawing of wood where you're making that shelf. Congratulations, honey. That's an amazing deal. I tell you, that is amazing. Bigger shelves. It's like, man, these ladies are killing me up in here, but what a way to go, right? What a way to go. I'm the type of person that I know what I paid for it. And if, I hold exclusive rights to what I charge. And what I say goes. And you know why? Because this is my channel. They're like, dang, so she'd take your head off. No, I'm really harmless. But congratulations. Let me put that in a safe spot. And thank you, Jessica, for sharing. I appreciate that. I'm going to do wooden crosses. That sounds amazing, Brian. We'll just set your beauty right over there. I tell you, someone that would have that sells on eBay or Etsy would have given their eye teeth to get a hold of this. But since you're in the right place at the right time, it's all about timing, right? It is all about timing. Oh, it is beautiful. It has the most beautiful. I have never, your Lusterwares from the 50s, I've never seen. Of course, I didn't know what it was. Hey, Francis, welcome in. Everyone knows the history of Lusterware. Very few pieces made it to this current time. But man, that is the top of the line up in there. I want to see across, Brian. Yes, Brian. So good to see you, Francis. Welcome in, sweetheart. So, keeping in that Lusterware theme, I didn't realize this, guys, but Lusterware does come in a variety of colors. And this, thank you, Lenore. This says Gibson, Staffordshire, well, Staffordshire, England. And this is Lusterware too. And Brian's like, oh no, she didn't. So we have, and it's Lusterware, even though it does have that silver finish, it is a teapot. So it is Lusterware. I did confirm it. You've seen a lot of Lusterware in colors, and this is Brian's like, oh my God, she's relentless. So we have this beautiful Lusterware teapot, and we're going to start it at $12. 12 for Lusterware. Here is the mark on the bottom that will indicate exactly what you're getting. And right there, if I can hold still, Gibson with a crown, which signifies royalty, might I add. Thank you, Jessica, for coming in. Thank you for sharing. And Brian said 12. He didn't have to think about that. So we will give a measurement. I thought that was around my neck. So from handle, I'm just for giggles, guys. I like you to know exactly what you're getting, just for giggles. So it's 9 inches across. It is approximately 4.5. Wait a minute. Let me take the lid off. I don't want to pulverize the lid. It is 4.5 inches. It is Lusterware. It's Staffordshire, England. It's Gibson. Shall I say more? So we have Brian. It's just perfect. You know, was I able? Hey, Mia, welcome in. Thank you for coming in, Mia. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And how often do we find Lusterware in the same place? Like never. So we're not going to dilly-dally. Brian's in at 12. Unless I see a $14 bid, we're going to go ahead and call this for Brian. Look how gorgeous that is. Beautiful. Going once. Going twice. Let me get it to cooperate. Final and last call. And there's your Gibson and there's your Staffordshire, England. Fair warning, fair warning. And we are sold to Brian. Congratulations. Brian says, daggone her. She knows how to get to me. Congratulations, Brian. You got that for 12 and it is Lusterware. So, okay, now that, oh my God. Here, Brian, I was running off at the mouth and forgot to put you in the drawing once again for that Lusterware piece. Brian is going in there again for that Lusterware. And we will put him into this box. And the only people here is me and my daughter, and I have nothing up my sleeves, obviously, because I don't have any. And so Brian just got that. So we're going to put him in again. Congratulations. We'll put you in there again. I'm going to have to really watch it because I forgot to put people's names in. Hey, Ellie. Welcome in, sweetie. Good to see you. Brian, you're going to have to build one of those. You're going to have to do a shelf that starts in a corner and veers out because you got a lot going on. Just saying. Yes. Boom. So far, so good. Now, I'm going to have to tape it to my forehead so I won't forget. We'll put it right there. That way I will not forget to do the names. And why? Because I'm guilty. So, what a deal that was. Oh my goodness, I could not imagine, guys, what these pieces, if they were put on eBay or another platform, I'm telling you, they would really jack the price up. But the deals are flowing today. The deals are flowing. I know pretty much what I give for things, and I do pass along those great deals. And I don't want anyone to say, "Oh my God, don't go in there because she is high dollar. She's way above what she should be." Never have I heard that statement. They're like, "Oh my God," they said, "You're giving away the farm." Well, you know what? I can do it because I can. I know what I pay for things. So I'm able to offer fantastic prices. And let me get a drink of coffee. As a matter of fact, I have a set, guys, that I bought over a year ago that is still downstairs, still wrapped up, that you guys have never seen. Well, Francis, it's when you sell glass, if it's all about your box. If you have a nice thick box and you kind of can deliberate if something shifts. And I like to use pool noodles, and yes, it can be nerve-wracking sometimes, but I always put my all into it, because when you're shipping you have to assume every scenario, because let's face it, the postal system is not gentle with our packages. Do you double box? Sometimes, Francis, unless I have a box that is of good quality, and there's a lot of materials that I use. There's a dollar store right just less, probably a block from the house, and they always have boxes. They break them down, and there's big bins of them, and I just go in there and pick them out. And as long as you have, if you've got something like this, which is coming up next, what I normally do is take a pool noodle and split it and put it around that, because, um, you know, that this is a breaking point. Yeah, pool noodles are amazing. You can split them, you can cut them to any length. They're right now in your Dollar Trees are only $1.25. And but no, we know that this would be dangerous. So I've been known to use a pool noodle around that. I can figure a lot of things, guys. I just get something and I figure, well, I'm gonna. But the key is the box. If you pack something in a box, and yeah, and Laura says she found the best price pool noodles that is at Walmart, and they delivered them with her groceries. But it's about the box. It is about nothing moving in that box. And as long as nothing's moving and it's solid, you're in good shape. Yeah, I try to do that because, like I said, I know that the postal system, as well as UPS, is guilty as well. They don't really handle stuff with kit gloves, so you really have to prepare for that. The next favorite thing I use is egg cartons. They make wonderful things to get items up off the bottom of a box. Thank you, Brian. That way, if it's placed kind of roughly down, it'll absorb that impact. And yeah, and the more you ship glass, and sometimes it's trial and error. There will be times where you pack something and it got broken. You're scratching your head and saying, "How in the world?" Yeah, I had bubble wrap. I also use a lot of you that have, yeah, because you know how you do things. I use this thing. I took it downstairs. I use this. It comes in a roll. It's from Amazon, and mine's pink, of course. And you take that. It's on a roll, and you pull it, and it creates little humps. It's really good to wrap with. I find that when you wrap with it and you make fold in your ends, you can make them thick, and then do the same on the other side. And that could, of course, I do wrap them with some form of paper that's heavier than tissue paper, and that's how we roll. But you do learn a lot through experience. Nobody's perfect now, least of all me, but I give it the old college try. He likes pop. I know, isn't that neat? Those little bubbles. So, without further ado, we're bringing up this beautiful frosted glass hand painted piece, might I add. This is very delicate, guys. The glass is very thin. It is a vintage hand painted piece. And, special care is required, just saying. You're really good when you're able to assume every move that the post office makes, and therefore adjust that package accordingly. Because and this was a fresh thrift as well. I thrifted this just yesterday, and it was just so pretty. It's so delicate, and I just really loved it. I thought it was pretty. So, what this is, oh Lord have mercy. This is a New Orleans, Italy white satin glass pedestal compote with lid hand painted cottage core, but this is from the 1960s, guys, so it's definitely vintage. I will show you this. This is so delicate. Hand painted right there, if I can get it to show. And this is a very thin glass. And usually the place that I thrift at, they mark these things with a V, of course. And it is hand. Can you imagine the steady hand that would have taken to do that? Just check, and that's hand painted. Now somebody's really good. Yeah, little candle. You can put a candle in it, or one of those battery operated. It would be beautiful with that in there with the lid, which is incidentally hand painted. The gold rim. Let me give you a measurement. You're welcome, Minnie, because like I said, if I get a good price when I shop, I'm not rubbing my hands together and saying, oh boy, I'm going to buy that for pennies and jack the price up. I don't do that. It's not fair. It's not fair. And you guys have been so good to me. And I like to show my appreciation. I'm honest, kind of to a fault, but honesty is the best policy. But no, I know what you guys like, and it really does my heart good to see you guys enjoy these amazing pieces. 9 inches tall from top to base. The price on this is it is from New Orleans, Italy, and we're going to start this at 12 too. I got it. This is too good. It's from the 50s. It's beautiful. And this is what this looks like. It's just beautiful. I mean, I'm always, hey, Gwen, welcome in. I always keep you guys in mind. I kind of know what you like, and I really do. I keep you in mind, and I'm always, remembering things that I know you guys like. And sometimes most of us don't have the opportunity to be in the vicinity with these beautiful pieces. And this is very delicate, guys. But if someone would have told me over 2 years ago that I would be on YouTube selling glass, I'd say you're out of your mind. You are out of your mind. But then, you sometimes you start off in YouTube and you find your niche or whatever that word is. And I did change my YouTube name. I was coming home from the thrift shop and I was coming up on a light and I stopped. And I'm like, you know what? You sell a lot of glass. Why don't you change your name to something that is more suiting? So between getting on the exit of the expressway, probably getting halfway home, I decided what my name was going to be. And that's what I went with because it just really made all the sense in the world, guys. But that is gorgeous. It is very, very, very fragile, but it is beautiful. So there is that one. We all have a talent, and sometimes we just find that niche that we're good at, and it really brings me. Brian's at 3 things, and how beautiful are those things, Brian? Yep, you have a Lusterware tea set. You have a beautiful set of glasses that 4 sell for $55 online, but you got 7 and another Lusterware teapot. Brian's out there cleaning up. So next, I know someone. I sold this to somebody a piece that had grapes on it and had the same texture. But if you enjoy something and you like it and the price is right, and why not? We like beautiful things. Let me skip along here. And I really do try to give the best prices that I possibly can because I know that, people do like vintage items, but they don't want to pay an arm and a leg for them. So, this is the one I said that was, you can tell it's from the 1950s or 60s because who of us today have a candy bowl this small? Really? And I sold to someone something that had a grape pattern and had um, that a textured panel in the back of it. I don't know who it was, but I know I've had something similar, and it is Jeanette glass. Beautiful Jeanette glass. And according to this, it is a candy dish. It is footed. It's pretty, I think. And we're going down to the foot. It's about 6.5 inches tall. And it is approximately about, I would say, about 3 inches deep. It does have a grape motif on it. It is from the I never noticed this, but look how neat. It's got like it's got a leaf and a grape right there, and then you have the grape leaves. And I'm going to start this at 10. I might be a little nuts, but isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's got all the care. It reminds me of the Victorian era. It has all the beautiful characteristics of that time period, and it's just so beautiful. Texturing right there. You got your grape leaves there as well as the grapes. It is footed. If you wanted to, you could use it. If you have people over for coffee, you could use it as a sugar bowl and impress those guests, right? There's your bottom right there. It is footed, and I sold somebody something similar to this. So that one is 10 if anyone is interested. So we will place that over there very gently. All right. I have a lot of things that's trying to figure out what. Let's see. Oh, this is a beauty right here, guys. Man, stickers, craziness. I do have some uranium glass. Hello, Deborah. Welcome in, but it's downstairs, I think. And good to see you, Deborah. Thank you so much for being here. I cannot get the stickers driving me nuts. Yes, I'm going to have to start taking, I've got two of these lights, black lights. I'm going to have to stick one in my purse because you never know. You could come upon, you could walk off and leave uranium glass and not even know it. So God, that thing's sticky. I had this thing to get these things off with, but who knows where it's at. Yeah, uranium glass is pretty in, just saying. They said, yeah, we know what she's doing. She's hoarding uranium glass. That's why she didn't bring it upstairs. See you next time. Let me know when you show it. Okay, Ellie. They're not really big pieces, but they are uranium glass. And my problem, well, some people wouldn't consider that a problem. My house was built in 1926, and it's big, and it has a basement underneath it. And up here, there's 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, a hallway, another hallway, and to the back, there's yet another room. And I cannot get that sticker off there for love nor money. So it seems like the more we have, the more room we have, the more we put in it. Just saying. Let me take a quick picture. Thank you, Deborah. I am glad you're here. But yes, this house was built in 1926 by a prominent doctor in this town. You know how big these old homes are. I can remember when I was younger and I lived in the area, and I walked by this house, and that's before they put the siding on it. And it looked kind of ominous to me. I'm like, that looks kind of scary. And lo and behold, who ends up living in it years down the line? So this is another vintage beauty right here. Uh-oh. I could not get that sticker off of there. We have a vintage Federal Glass Pioneer pattern. That is not, or is it? I guess it's a serving bowl. That's what it says it is. It is a serving bowl, of all things, embossed with a fruit pattern, known for its pressed glass items. These bowls are often found in clear or carnival. Would not like to get my hands on something like that. You can find similar vintage Federal Glass Pioneer bowls online marketplace like Etsy and eBay. So, yes, it does have a sticker on there. I like to use alcohol to get those off. I love the old homes. I've lived in three homes built in 1914. My current home is more modern. Well, I just love old homes. There's kind of like old homes have an ambiance about them, and they're just, I don't know. I think I should have been born a lot later than what I was, but there is an allure to these homes. There really is. And they just have an ambiance and your imagination, and this one was built by a doctor. So, and over there, the glass in that door is textured and it's like glass that you can't really see through. So, he probably treated some patients up here. So, this is about 10.5 inches long. It does need to be cleaned up. I will do that. I don't have any alcohol up here. And we're going to start this at $10. This is the most beautiful Federal glass piece, and what a deal. And Ellie said, absolutely, they were built to last. Absolutely. It's they the wood that they used. As a matter of fact, I have a when the tornado went through here in I think it was 2012. Of course, we had damage because the tornado was kind of maybe 3 blocks or more catty cornered from where we live. And we had very large hail. And, I had to keep, of course, when you have damage, and this is terrible, when your town or whatever has suffered a tornado or a traumatic event that really leaves things in shambles, all these vultures come out because they want the work. And some of them are really underhanded. And we had some people working and they were hammering something. Of course, I don't know what the wood is on this house. And they had to hammer so hard it knocked in the bathroom, I had a globe over a pedestal sink and it fell off in the sink. And I'm in the bathtub of all things. And I'm like, what was that? Of course, they heard it too and they thought they broke the basement window, but no, it was in the bathroom. And I was in the tub trying to relax from we worry about earthquakes here in Southern California. I can't imagine living through a tornado. I'm in Indiana, Francis. Kentucky is like, per se, 25 miles from here. But on that day, we had 2 tornadoes come through. I was in Scott County, northbound, about 12 miles. And there were 2 come through, one just right behind the other. And that's when I worked for a home health care agency. And I was in Scott County. And when the call came in, I had a lady that someone called her and said, take cover, there's a tornado coming. And she started crying. I said, don't you worry. I said, remember the rule of thumb, you have to go into a room that has a lot of things around it with no windows. I said, come on. I said, sit on your shower chair. We'll put pillows in here and we'll just ride it out. Little did we know that it would turn course and come up the expressway south and hit Henryville with a vengeance. And, I stayed with her long after my shift and my husband finally got a hold of me. He was hysterical and he was saying, stay where you're at, stay where you're at. But I believe that it just wasn't my time to go, because if I would have left this lady's house at the designated time, I would have been on the expressway exactly the same time that tornado went through. So I wouldn't be here talking. But yeah, it sent a school bus. There was a restaurant across from the school, and it sent a school bus that was stopped, timing right, across the road into a restaurant. Yes, Laura, I felt really, really, really blessed. And there was a basement in that restaurant, and they barely got in there before that bus came barreling across the road right into that building. And so that was pretty scary. Yeah, they are scary. And, I let the lady know that I was not leaving. And someone called her and said, "Take cover, there's a tornado coming." So I said, "Let's." She was really tore up. I said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you." She had a shower chair in her bathtub. I said, "Go in there and sit on that, and we'll have pillows." We waited, we waited, we waited. We didn't hear nothing, nothing. So, like I said, it turned and come down the expressway from the north going south, and it overturned. A semi was overturned in the median of the expressway, and it was scary. In Henryville, the school was totally decimated. It had to been totally rebuilt. There was a lot of damage, and it was scary. It really was. So we'll put this over here. It was one scary, scary time. So let's pull this. But I could have very well been on that expressway when that went through there, and I'd have been goner. Yeah, I didn't leave, and I think everything happens for a reason. And I think, God looks out for us, guys. He really does. People that could be in harm's way, and they say, "Oh, it's just luck." No, it's God, because God does watch over us. Yes, an angel on my shoulder. I can tell you many times when that I've had an angel on my shoulder, and absolutely, I can. Even when I was a child, I had an experience that, I knew that I was going to die. I was on a bicycle going down a hill, and here come this car, just a barreling coming up through there. And guys, it's like time stands still. I said, "Okay, I know I'm going to die. I know I'm going to die." Because, being on a bike and getting hit by a car isn't a good thing. But you know what, guys? It was really weird. And I know this was God, because the next thing I have no variance of time between that period. And I was on the side of the road, safe and sound. And that car, I could see it disappear in the distance. And I didn't have any knowledge of anything that happened. And hey, bird on a wire, welcome in. I know there's angels, guys. And I couldn't have been no more than maybe 12 or 13. And it was so weird, in an instance where you see it coming, you've had it, you kind of say, well, and and my life was spared, and I was a young lady, And Brian, he was in the wheelchair for 2 years, and the doctor said that he would never walk again. And Brian started praying for his situation. And you know what? Brian got up and he walked. And there were miracles. And he was in a wheelchair, and the doctor told him he would never walk again. And that's a miracle, guys. And we know that comes from God. It has to. No one can take someone that the doctors have given up on. Well, you're not going to walk. And yes, God is definitely good. Right. And we're all meant to be here. And I think that we should make the most of our time down here on earth and be loving and kind toward one another because we never know. I could be sitting here one minute and tomorrow I may not be here. I don't know that. But I know one thing, I'm going to be the best that person that I can be to other people. I want to uplift people and I want to love people because guys, that's what we need in this world is people to love other people, put the pettiness aside. There is nothing that can happen is more important, than loving that person. Sometimes people do things, and we have to understand that none of us are perfect, and we all know that. And we just have to accept it and love people for who they are. Are they perfect? Am I perfect? No, I'm not. But just really, life is too short, guys. And if you can do something for someone, if you can help someone by having a conversation or doing something like that, hey, Angela, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Do it, guys. Life is too short. So I'll quit blabbing and commence with this sale. But thank you guys for being here. And don't forget that thumbs up. So I have another beautiful bowl. And yes, I do have a second channel. It's called Genuinely Gina. And Laura, if you would could you drop that in the chat, please? I would appreciate it. You are touching your heart, sweet Gina. You truly feel it. Yes, I do. I really do. And it's just, we're not perfect. There's no one perfect, and perfection is truly on the other side. And, we're just supposed to, if you can help somebody, do it. If you can lift somebody up, do it. And guys, the deepest scars on a lot of people are the ones that we can't see. We don't know what path that they have walked. And Ellie said, being nice is free. You never know what someone is really going through. Just saying, right. And thank you so much. That is my second channel that Laura has dropped in the chat. It is biblically based. It is yes, spreading the kindness. It is a place for some, to me, well, you'll understand when you read the my description and exactly what it's for, because we need each other. Fussing at each other and being petty is not really necessary, is it? You're welcome, Lenore. And y'all know I mean every word. I'm not a type of person, yes, I'm blunt, but you know what? I'm a loving blunt. I really believe in uplifting people, and because we've all been there, we've all really been upset. Thank you, Brian. We've been upset. We feel like no one cares. And what really hurts is when we feel like our families don't care. And it really hurts us, guys. I have more adopted sisters and brothers on YouTube than you can ever count. Jesus said to love through God and love thy neighbor as thyself. I don't understand why more people don't obey that simple little command. It is a little command, but I think that it's very true. And thank you for putting that in the chat, Bird on a Wire, because you're exactly right. And it's easy to be loving. Now I didn't say I wasn't sassy. I can be sassy, but I think my best quality, I can be very loving as well. I can be very loving, understanding, because I know that there are people out there that are hurting, that need other people, and just a kind gesture can change everything. So, here we go with this beautiful Thank you, Bird on a Wire. I can be sassy now. But I believe in if you love someone, tell them the truth. Don't hide things, don't lie, because you're talking about a person's life here. Thank you, Deborah. You're talking about people's life, and it's no joke. It is no joke. And Ginger said, I live by this: love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are, a child of God. And we all are. And we can be little stinkers at times. And that's me too. I'd be the first in line, but, we all have those traits that make us who we are. So moving back to this, and I'll quit yakking so much. But I do feel like if the things that I just said are very important. 11, almost 11 and a half inches long, and 7.5 inches wide. And what we are looking here at here is a beautiful, it's an early American pressed glass EAPG bowl, likely made by Cambridge Glass Company, featuring inverted thistle pattern, also known as number 2766 or late thistle. Listen to this. This distinctive pattern was characterized by its intricate thistle design, was introduced by the Cambridge Glass Company in 1911. Thank you, Bird on a Wire. It is a pretty one. It is a classic example of pressed glass from the early 20th century, specifically the 1900 through 1919 periods. So, this is really beautiful, guys. It appears to have floral, and because of what it is and the era that it's from, we're going to start this at 12. Scottish thistle, because look at what you're getting. 1900 to 1919. Really? These a lot of these pieces are hard to find. They are rare, and to find them in good vintage condition is almost unheard of, guys. And I'll give you a depth measurement because everyone wants to know how deep this is. This will go and measure it on a point. It's about 3.5 inches deep. It is beautiful. It is textured. As you can see right there, it is beautiful. It would be beautiful on a table or just about anywhere. But it is early American pressed glass. I know, Bird on a Wire, we do get in that collection mode sometimes, guys. So there she is. It would be beautiful on a table with, you could put fruit in there or whatever. It does have a beautiful scalloped edge. It is gorgeous. Fruit bowl, yeah. So now, guys, it's getting time for that Dollarama. I got rid of all my glass except one piece of lead crystal that I have buttons in. Well, sometimes, as we get older, we do downsize sometimes because, so we will put this beauty right over. I'm afraid to put it near my modem because I know how it does. So we will put this over here and move right along. You've probably seen this fantastic. This is a genuine lead crystal, hand cut with, let me get I wear contacts, but as we know, contacts do not give you and I have glasses too. And Bird on a Wire, Dollarama. What does that mean? That means I'm going to stick something up here, and it's going to start at $1. And Bird on the Wire says, I had a huge collection of glass and ceramics and two different display cabinets. Oh, I know. The things we do collect, but hey. So this is genuine lead crystal. Um, Either this is dirty or I'm blind. Lead oxide. And this is from West Germany. With the sticker, might I add. And this is what it sounds like. And because of what it is, it still has a sticker. We're going to start this at 12 too. And you're like, what? She's selling that bell from West Germany, lead crystal, beautiful sound, amber glass, which is obviously vintage. And here's what it sounds like. It's beautiful, guys. If you like to collect things like this, and this is all hand etched right here. It's really a beautiful bell. If you like to collect bells, and if that's your thing, then I noticed on this, the top of it is kind of frosted right there. But she's a beauty. If you like vintage bells and would like to add to your collection, well, this is the ticket. It is very, very beautiful. Ring, ring. And like I said, it's a steal of a deal. Yeah, it does have a wonderful little ting-a-ling. I know back in the day it's amber colored. Yes, Brian. I know back in the day that people did collect bells. That was their thing. Some people collected Avon bottles, and and a lot of these Avon bottles today are very collectible. Amber. And I'll give you a measurement. I probably gave you one. I forgot because I talk a lot. So let's measure this. This is almost, let me get this at the right point. It is 4 marks past the 7-inch mark. And it is amazing, just saying. But there's the thickness right there of that. And there she is, if you like bells. I had a friend who had a huge bell collection. I think of her every time I see a dinner bell now. Like I said, back in the day, people love their bells now. Just kidding. If someone changes their mind, it's available, and I'm looking right at it. I set it right up there now. Let's see. There was something specifically I was going to do. Okay, I know what I was going to do. Now, this is alabaster, guys. How often do you see something alabaster? Excuse me. And it is absolutely created in Italy. How do I know? Because it says it right there. Italy. And on the back it says, this is a heart keepsake box with a swivel top made in Italy, genuine alabaster. Thank you for the hearts. By DucceschI. And most trinket boxes open like this. Well, not this one because it swivels. And it is total alabaster. Isn't that amazing, Deborah? I thought, here I was, I had it in my hand. I was like, what's wrong with that lid? And I thought, duh. So we're going to start this at 12 too because it is alabaster. It is clearly marked, made in Italy, genuine alabaster. It does have a swivel feature and it is beautiful and it's alabaster. I'll give you a measurement on it. It is a beautiful piece. Okay, we're going to go across at the thickest part, and that's 4.5 inches by 4 inches across. I mean, this is amazing, guys. And how often, and here's the heart on the back that explains. And that's the company that DUCCESESCHI. That's the company. I've seen people sell trinket boxes that were not even in the same league with this for a lot more, but today we're going to do it for $12 for alabaster. What? She's letting that go for 12. That's a good price, and with all the stickers that came on this thing, I don't even know what the let me see. I don't even know what the I didn't Google this, but I'm about ready to. So let's take a picture. I just saw it. I picked it up. I was like a kid in a candy store with fascination. I knew it was alabaster when I saw it. I knew it was. And we have on a wire in at 12. Smart. And that's a great deal. But we want to get more information so you will know exactly what you are getting. Boom. Let me find it. But this is, let's see. I really love the way it's shaped. Genuine. This says Volterra alabaster heart, swiveled trinket box. So without further ado, Brian wants the bell for 12. So I know you're in at 12, Bird on a Wire, and we're going to officially call this down for Brian. I see no other bids in the chat. So we're going to go once to Brian for this amazing bell. Going twice. Final and last call. And it looks like Brian. Oh, wait. What happened? Okay, we got it. So we'll go ahead and just call it right. Oh, was she in for the bell or this? Bird on a Wire, was you in on the alabaster or the bell? Let's go ahead and get this clarified so we'll know what's going on. So was it the bell or the alabaster? Okay, Bird on a Wire is in for the heart. That's okay, Laura. Sometimes it can get confusing in a chat when things are moving, especially at the same price. So we're going to go ahead and call this down for Brian. We're going to go once to Brian for that $12 bid. Going twice to Brian for that $12 bid. Thank you for dropping that link, Lenore. Appreciate that. Last call and fair warning, and we are sold to Brian. That's okay, Brian. Sometimes we're on a lag. And so next we're going to move on to Bird on a Wire and her request. Congrats, Brian. That's beautiful. I was really surprised when I saw the amber glass. Y'all better catch me because you know I'm about ready to forget. So that's 12. And so behind that, Brian, I'm going to put your name in the box because if I don't do it now, I'll forget. So that beautiful bell is sold to Brian at 12. Thank you so much. And I looked up and I saw that box and something said, "Don't forget. You know what you're supposed to be doing here. Don't forget." That's a heck of a deal on that alabaster. It's like lightning striking twice in the same spot. So the reason why I use paper, because when I go to invoice people, I like to write on this paper what it is and give the full description. That way I can be more efficient. And that's why I do that. Thank you, Brian. And your name is going into the box. Congrats, congrats. And Bird on a Wire, just one moment, and we will resume with that trinket box for you. So we had Bird on a Wire. She was in for that $12 starting bid. So unless I see $14, we're going to call this down for Bird on a Wire. Well, it's kind of like me. When I see something that I want or I've been looking for, I just throw caution to the wind, going once, going twice, final and last call. And it looks like we are sold to Bird on a Wire. Bird on a Wire, is your first initial begin with a G, just out of curiosity? And that's sold to Bird on a Wire. I think your first name begins with a G, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Isn't that beautiful? Sometimes people don't want their names. Kathy. What was I thinking? G. Okay. I'll write that. Kathy. It's been a few minutes on that. So congratulations, sweetheart. That is yours for 12. There was a G, but it was your last name. Gowr. I had it backwards. So, and with that being said, Bird on a Wire's name goes into that box for the grand finale at the end of the night. Thank you, Francis, for coming in. I really appreciate it. I really have enjoyed your company, and thank you for being here so much. Okay, Ellie says, I have to send you a picture of this set I got recently. I am not overly familiar with it, but it's stunning, and I'm sure you'd probably know more about it than me. Oh, I'd love to see it, Ellie. Ellie. And thank you, Francis, and you have a wonderful rest of your day. And there again, we're going to put Bird on a Wire's name in that before I get to blabbing and forget. Mm. Alrighty then, Bird on a Wire is going into the shoe box. The reason it's a shoe box because it does have a shoe on it. So that's why I call it a shoe box. Made sense to me, right? With the lid on it. So just as I promised you, that $1 item, and my nose is itching, and hopefully I don't get any company because I'm busy at the moment. Let's see. You know how you have something in your mind and you get busy and your mind gets redirected and you totally forget? It's like, what were you doing? Let's see, what do we need here? I'm doing all this itemization in my mind, and along the way, I just get like, what was I going to do? What was I going to do? Let's do this. Let's go ahead and do this. I am going to put up this lovely trinket box, and I'm going to have to, I'm going to go in, I've got to go into the other room to get some stuff, but I am going to start the bid at $1. You guys bid till your heart's content. I will drop the camera, but first I'm going to show you what's coming up for $1. Yep, you got it, girl. The starting bid is going to be $1, and what is it? It's this trinket box right here. And what is the significance of this trinket box? Well, it says Roma al fresco made in Japan exclusively for Elizabeth Arden. And I'll show you the bottom because I have to step out of the room. There's something that I need to get, and this is going up for $1. I will put it on a pedestal, drop the camera when I can find something. Where's that? Well, horse feathers. Hang on just a second. So I have some other delicious things out there that I'm going to have to go get. And this is an opportune time to do that Dollarama. And look, I'm going to lower the camera if I can. Here we have this trinket box exclusively created for Elizabeth Arden. And don't look at my room, it is a hot mess. But things always get better, look worse before they get better. So I need to step out of the room, so I'll start the bidding at $1 for this trinket box. And someone may be getting something really good, and I'll be right back. Let the bidding begin, $1. To where I can walk when I get in here. Put that right here. Oh boy. For you people that like vintage sewing boxes, I've got the ticket. So let's see where we're at in the scheme of things. So let me look in that chat. Thank you, Laura, for dropping that email. It looks like we've had some action in the chat. Lenore was at 1. Deborah comes back at 2. Lenore is at 3. I think I'm looking at uranium blast right as we speak. So the last high bid was Minnie at $5, and Lenore is out. So Minnie's in at that $5 bid. Do we have, this is exclusively created for Elizabeth Arden. And here is your signage right there. Burma al fresco, Elizabeth Arden. It's a special piece, guys. If anyone wants to get in on a steal of a deal, Deborah is out. Thank you, Deborah, for your bids. Thank you, Lenore, for yours as well. So if I see no other bids, I'm going to start calling this down for Miss Minnie. So if we don't see $6 come in the chat, we'll go ahead and call this beautiful piece down. It is lovely. So I'll give it just a few minutes because I know there is a lag. So it is a pretty piece. I was really attracted to it when I saw it. So we're going to start calling her down, and Minnie's going to take this beauty home for a mere $5. So we're going to go once. I registered in 24. Do you need my info again? Yes, Deborah, honey, if you don't mind, I think my Lenore has dropped, as well as Laura has dropped my email. If you do not mind, please send that again. And Laura says you can bid up until sold. It's typed in the chat. So we're going to go once, going twice. Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Going twice will account for that lag. It's a beautiful piece. Final and last call. When we get to that fair warning, we know a piece is in danger of going to the high bidder. And that fair warning has been put in the chat. So guess what? This is sold to Minnie for $5. Congratulations and thank you so much and thank you everyone for your bids. I appreciate you guys. That goes to Minnie. Congratulations, sweetie. And also your name will go into the drawing. Everyone has a chance. I'm going to mix them up, and at the end of the night, there will be a winner, and I will adjust what I. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you so much. That is so important, that especially if you're going to be bidding on an item, it just really makes things go smoother. And thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. Minnie for $5. That's a beautiful piece. And Minnie's name will absolutely go into that drawing box. Everyone has a chance. Just saying, because I'm going to reach in there and whoever's name comes out is going to be the winner. So let me get Minnie's name in there before I forget. That's possible. I've did it before, so let's put Minnie in there. Minnie, congratulations. Now, I want to know what I was going to do. I'm having an amazing time with you guys. Thank you for being here. It really means a lot to me, and we're having just a wonderful time talking about everything. Thank you, Ellie. I appreciate it. The thing of it is, with my name, a lot of times people put a D instead of an F. It's Bradford. And let me just check to make sure I'm not, it's good to make sure that we have people's information, because that is quite common, guys. That's nothing that hasn't happened to me before. So let's go down. We have Ellie's in there. And I think Deborah is doing it as well. It's BRAFFORD, all in lowercase, GEANA. Okay, let me check you out here, kiddo. There's Ellie. Let me get rid of that. So we have Ellie in there. I'm not seeing it so far, Deborah. Okay, maybe it'll come in later. I'm not seeing it at this point. I do have Ellie's for sure, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. That doesn't mean that it will not come in later. Let me check my spam to see if it would have went in there. Don't see it in the spam. Like I said, Bradford is BRAFFORD. That's weird. I didn't get it. Huh. Yeah, something that a lot of things, like I said, people put a D where there's an F. And if you don't mind, Deborah, will you try it one more time? I'm not seeing it. I do see Ellie in there. I don't know. I checked my spam folder. It didn't go to there. And sometimes, And Laura has dropped that. Okay, Deborah, because a lot of times people put an F where there's a D where there's two F's. But no problem, sweetheart. Take your time. We'll be here, I'm sure. Yeah, that spelling, it gets us every time. Okay, Miss Ellie, I think I found some uranium glass. It's a small piece, but it's uranium. Right. Thank you, Bird on a Wire. I appreciate that. Got to have that five in there. Ooh la la, we have uranium glass. Does that glow or what? I think we definitely have a glower. Aha! I think I've sparked an interest in the audience. I have a piece downstairs. So this is absolutely, let me get the specs on it for you because I'm almost positive it's vintage. You know me and my vintage characteristics. But I like to give full info on a piece so you know what you're getting. Man, that thing glows, doesn't it? Let me shut that door. Thank goodness the sun is going down because, in these older houses, the roof is just boom right there. So we're going to tell you exactly what you're looking at. And I'm not a gambler, but I'd be willing to bet you that's vintage. Whoa. Not all, I think we have an anchor hawking. Mercy. We sure do. It is described as an anchor hawking optic anchor hawking block optic green champagne tall sherbet, 3 inches tall. It's anchor hawking. Let me look for that classic anchor hawking marking. If you don't see it, that means this is very early, guys. I'm not for sure what the date is. Yeah. So I'm going to start this. It is uranium glass. We know that the value of uranium glass is up there. And I'm going to start this at $8 because of what it is. And this is absolutely anchor hawking. It is a block optic green champagne tall sherbet, 3 inches. And as you can see, it glows like nobody's business. Look at that. Goodness gracious alive, guys. Ellie said, no questions with me. I can see what that is. So we have Ellie in at 8. It is a beautiful piece. There are no chips or cracks. I like to run my finger. Now you will have seam marks. So we have Ellie in at that $8 bid. It is really pretty, guys. And I think I have another piece downstairs, and only God knows where it is because I probably don't know. So I am seeing Ellie in at that $8 bid, and people are just really fascinated with uranium glass. So if I don't see, yes, it does. It's amazing, and it's anchor hawking, and I believe it's early anchor hawking. So I don't see any other bid, so we're going to start calling this down for Ellie for her $8 bid. So we're going once to Ellie for that $8 bid. Going twice to Ellie for that $8 bid. Final and fair warning to Ellie. Oh my goodness, that's glowing like you wouldn't believe. And when you get this home, you'll really see it. Fair warning, and we are sold to Ellie. But you will not believe the amount of uranium in this. When you get it home, Ellie, and you blacklight it, I mean, this thing glows like crazy. Congrats, Ellie. And your name goes into, I mean, it really, I mean, you'll understand what I mean when you get it. It is really bright uranium. And thank you so much. Like I said, I'm going to have to start taking my black light into these thrift stores. Because just imagine, guys, how many pieces of uranium that I could have gotten and passed up. So when you thrift, you always want to have the tools of the trade, and a black light is definitely one of them. And congratulations, sweetheart. We are sold to Ellie. You get it, girl. Let's see. Let me see. We're going to have another Dollarama piece. We want to build that excitement and that allure in the chat. And what does that better than a $1 vintage West Point piece? And we're not talking a little bitty thing because I'm about to show you what is going up. And this is our $1 piece. That is West Point Diamond Point Vintage Beauty right up in that. This is considered a compote. It would be beautiful with a fruit salad in it, with jello salad, a whatever you wanted to put in that. And we know Christmas is coming. And if Bruce was here, he would tell me exactly how many days till that comes. $1, guys. And while you are still in awe from the price that you have just seen, we're going to get a measurement for you. And this is West Point. I have thrifted many West Point pieces, 7 inches tall. We have a depth of, let's see here. Yeah, I would say about 5.5 inches deep. Had 2 ends in your first name. My name is that's kind of a common thing as well, Deborah. Don't worry about it. That's really common. And we'll give it a look. And there Deb Barnes is. And thank you so much, honey. I appreciate it. Good job. So, do we have any bids on this? And we're starting at $1. This is no little piece by any means. It is beautiful. It is West Point. Okay. So look at this. $1 start bid. What? $1. And this is this show only. And for this time only, no one can contact me by email and say, gee, I seen a West Point vintage piece of glassware, pressed glass, for $1, and I would like that. I would say, sorry, it was THO. Here comes our Rebecca. She said, I'm not playing because I'm coming in at 5. It's good to see you, sweetheart, and welcome in. Bird on a wire. Since we do have a $5 bid, we need to at least see $6, please. If you're interested, this Bird on a wire said 6. I'm not letting that get away from me. And our favorite redhead that just came in, welcome in, Rebecca. Natural redhead, that is. I've got red hair, but it's not natural. Looking for 6. West Point Diamond Point Vintage Beauty, $1. So we have a current bid with Bird on a Wire of $6, looking for 7. And the $1 increments makes it fun. You know, we get a lot of action in the chat on this piece. This, I can tell you right now, this is worth far more than that. But because this is a night of Dollarama, that's what I'm running it for. Rebecca, are you coming back in at 7? And welcome in, sweetheart. Y'all know this is worth far more than what. To start something like that at $1 is unheard of. You couldn't even buy that at a yard sale for $1. If you did, somebody didn't know what they had. There's your beautiful inside. So unless I see a bid of $7, Bird on a Wire is going to have a very beautiful piece for very little money. So we're going to call it down. The time is now, guys. It's about that big. So we'll give it just a few minutes while I get a drink of water here. The time is now. We're going to go once to Bird on a Wire for that $6. Man, what a deal that is. Lots of uses for this beauty, might I add. Going once, going twice. Anyone can come in. It's only $1 bid. Going twice. Final and last call. This is the last call to get in on this, guys. Last call. And it looks like Bird on a Wire just... we got Rebecca. We haven't called it sold yet. We was at that last threshold, but Rebecca does come in at 8. So we need to see a $9 bid. This just makes it interesting. It's pressed glass. I can tell when you have bought as much glass. Thank you, Miss Lenore. Appreciate that. Looking for 9. And you're like, what? She's letting go of a vintage diamond point Wexford for that. And so Bird on a Wire is out to Rebecca. And thank you for your bids, Bird on a Wire. So we're going to start calling it down for Rebecca for that $8 bid. So we're going to go once to Rebecca. Going twice. Final and last call. This gives opportunity is knocking, just saying. Fair warning, fair warning. And unless we see a bid of $9 sold to Rebecca. And tonight, Rebecca, your name will go in a drawing to be drawn after we get finished here tonight for a special prize. I can't tell you what it is because I just might be matching it to your personality, right? And congratulations, you will go into the box for that end of the night drawing. And thank you so much. There we go. Let me put you in the box, the shoe box. You know why I call this, I call it a shoe box, and we associate new house. Yep. We associate a shoe box with something square, but you know why I call this a shoe box? Because it is literally a shoe box. So you're going in there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Down in the box you go. Who gets drawn, nobody knows. But we'll know later, I guarantee you. Thank you, Deborah, for subbing to everyone in the chat. I really appreciate that. It really shows support to everyone. And on behalf of those ones you subscribe to, we thank you very much. It's very important to people, especially those that are working on goals. And thank you, Deborah, for being that wonderful person that you are. We appreciate you. Thank you. And it does help people because people are working toward goals. And it is so satisfying to really know that we can help one another in this journey. And it is a journey, let me tell you. It is absolutely a journey. And we all grow at different levels. Just because you're not up there with someone, do not number one, don't compare anyone to you, because you are unique and you're special and you have something to give. You really do. And if a lot of people looked at things like that on YouTube, we'd be one big happy family. But hey, it's the way it goes, right? Sometimes we can't be responsible for anyone's actions but ourselves, thank goodness. So, sometimes people definitely get on our nerves, but sometimes you just move on, and there's two things you're not going to change about people: what they think and what they say. You know exactly who you are, move on, and you'll be blessed for it because you refrain from getting down on the level of someone else. Remember that. Okay, we're going to do another dollar item because I had so much fun and it's really exciting. So, we're going to do another dollar item. Looky here, guys. This is amazing, and I know it's vintage. And Laura does have some plans. She's got to go pick her son up, and I really appreciate her. She's been such a wonderful friend, and I really appreciate her. This right here, to me, looks like something that holds napkins on a table. But to eliminate my second guessing, we're going to take a photograph. And yes, this is going up for $1. So she is not playing tonight, is she? I appreciate people's support and everything like that. And this is just my way of giving back and show my appreciation for everything. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to tell you, I know it's vintage without a doubt, is that vintage. You could put that, of course, if you had a larger bathroom and a larger vanity, then you could put this and put hand towels in it and put it on your. I had neither. It was down in my living room, and I thought, well, first of all, where did it come from? And Ginger is not playing. She's in for $1. She knows what's up. This is yet another antique early American pattern on a banana stand, identified as the 10-pointed star pattern by Bruce Higby and Company. Now listen, y'all. And Bruce or Higby. It's an early American pattern glass. This particular piece features a distinctive 10-point star pattern, also known as the OMN pattern, and includes designs like fans, which I think this probably falls in that fan category. It can also be used as a fruit stand or a decorative compote or candy dish. These pieces are considered collectible antiques, keyword antique, due to their historical significance and intricate pressed glass designs. So, man, wasn't that a long handle? To me, I think this would be gorgeous on a table where you could put napkins in there and kind of lay them in there and stuff like that. So there's Ginger's in at that $1 bid, guys. Look at the base on that beautiful, beautiful piece. Isn't that gorgeous? Early American glass. Bryce and Higby and Company. Don't get any better than that, guys. So Rebecca is not playing around. She came in at 8. And, you can kind of, a lot of people look for that early American pattern glass. So we have Rebecca in at that $8 bid. We're looking for 9, and we just go $1 increments. It makes it interesting. And we know this is worth more than, you know what I mean? But that EAPG is really, it's considered the 10 pointed star, and it is gorgeous. It is pressed glass. This is what it looks like. It would be lovely as a fruit bowl. You could put, some people use cloth napkins, and Ginger is out to Rebecca. And Ginger, thank you for your bid. I appreciate it. So we have Rebecca in for that $8 bid. We need to see $9 or better, or we're going to call it down. And what I'm going to do, Lenore, if you could help me out, I would appreciate it, because we're going to count it down. Laura had to go take her son or pick him up from work. So we're going to go once to Rebecca for that $8 bid. We're going to go. Thank you, Lenore. You are an angel. I'm telling you. We're going to go twice to Rebecca. I don't see any other bids in the chat. Going twice. Last call and fair warning. If we don't see $9, this is coming to a close. So we're going to say fair warning. And we are sold to Rebecca. Congratulations. Your name also goes in the drawing at the end of the night, and who knows what it's going to be. But I guarantee it's going to be fabulous, because that's the way I roll. It's just a little something that a show of appreciation to those who support you is what it's all about. There will be more $1 pieces, just saying. I want everyone to get something, because I'm like that. Okay. Alrighty then. This is going to be a regular auction piece, keeping in that green glass theme. We have, this is a compote. This is not, there was never a lid to this. It does not have a lip for a lid. It is green glass. Brian said, he goes, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Well, I didn't say I wasn't a little guilty. Where is my phone? What did I do? There it is. We have a beautiful vintage green compote with very feathery design. And this is textured right here. It is green glass. Isn't it beautiful, bird on a wire? So I do have it in my gallery here, and we're going to get, when you get so many glass pieces, you got to reference every now and then, just saying. So let's move along. Lord have mercy. Rebecca, I'm going to get ready to bring up the biggest temptation that you will ever experience, because I know what you like. And she goes, well, you old hag. No, I'm kidding. I didn't say that I didn't cater to what my buyers like. Now, I am guilty of that. So listen to her up there. So she's awful. Guys, I was flipping through my pictures that's in my phone, and this is my mother, which I lost when I was 2 months old. That is my mother. Her name was Lois Rebecca, and that was my mom. That was my mother, and I think I do have. Thank you, Lenore. I think I get a lot of my qualities from her. I never really got to know her because I was 2 months old when she passed, and I just feel like we often wonder, what there will never be anyone like your mother, guys. Brian, his mother passed. Was it back in November, Brian? And he took such good care of his mother. And usually, a lot of times, and Brian's lost other people as well. And a lot of times, this responsibility falls on usually the females in the family. But Brian took the bull by the horns and he took good care of her. That's okay, Deborah. I've learned, it's a long story, but I think sometimes the things we go through in life makes us stronger. And there was a lot of uncertainty around it, and one day I'll know the truth. So I just have to accept that God's in control, and one day I will know the truth. It really, I had to learn to cope with it because there's a lot of drama. Okay, totally changing the subject. This is a vintage emerald green glass pedestal bowl, likely from the E.O. Brody Company of Cleveland, Ohio. The bowl features a scalloped rim and a pedestal base, often with a raised pattern like a tulip or folate design with dots and a crinkle or scallop pattern on the glass itself. These pieces are generally associated with the mid-century modern style, likely produced in the 1960s. It can be used as a decorative centerpiece or serving items like candy or fruit. So now that we know exactly what we have, I'm going to start this at $12. $12. It is green. We know the lineage behind it, which is E.O.H. Brody Company. It is green. It does have a sticky on there. I'll give you a measurement. It is beautiful. I like to, and Deborah said 12. She goes, you don't have to twist my arm. So it is coming in at 6.5 inches across. The total height on this piece is approximately almost knocking at the door of 6. And Ellie said 14 because she likes it. And a lot, and I think you guys know the quality of this piece and you appreciate the quality, which I do as well. And I'm going to measure the inside. The depth is approximately 2.5 inches deep. And Deborah we'll go ahead and do $1 increments with the hay. So Deborah is in at $15. We can do $1 increments. It doesn't matter. I look at this as a special night because we're having Dollarama. Brian's getting his popcorn out because he knows there's about to be a bidding war. Brian's got the popcorn out. So we have Deborah in at 15 and we'll just do $1 bids. What the heck? I think they know what they're looking at. I think that's probably no. If that was uranium, you guys would be really licking your lips, but it's not. So Ellie is in at 16. It has that beautiful texture to it. Pretty special piece, guys. Oh my goodness, I didn't show you guys on the bottom. It is marked E.O. Brody. Deborah is at 17. Oh my goodness, this has a lot of info. It's got E.O. Brody and Company. It's got some numbers on it. If I can show it. It's even on the bottom, guys. E.O. Brody. So we have Deborah at $17. Ellie says out to Deborah, thank you so much, Ellie, for your bids. And Deborah's at 17. Very pretty. I would collect clear and some blue. So we are going to, since Deborah appears to be the only one in, we're going to call this down for Deborah. So we're going to go once to Deborah for that $17 bid. Going twice to Deborah. Look at that info on the bottom. Final and last call. And it appears that Deborah is the winner of that piece at 17. Thank you, Deborah, and congratulations. And again, Ellie, thank you for your bids. Congrats, Deborah. You go, girl. Incidentally, Deborah, your name is spelled exactly. My oldest sister's name was Deborah, spelled exactly like you spell your name. And I lost her about 5 years ago. She had esophageal cancer. She always had problems with her stomach. And she was having excruciating pain. She went to the emergency room. And they immediately did a scan. And unfortunately, there was cancer all over her body. I mean, it was just rampant. So the only thing they could do for her, she has one daughter and she lives in New Jersey and she has one daughter. The only thing they could do for her is keep her comfortable because there was no turning back, guys. She was just totally, you know. So her daughter, she got to Skype with her daughter. Of course, they was giving her painkillers. She was pretty in and out of it. But yeah, she had esophageal. Thank you, Brian. She had esophageal cancer. And it makes you think, how could doctors miss, if you're telling them that your stomach is bothering you, and she was just, it was everywhere. It was throughout every organ in her body. Oh yeah, it's terrible. And it's really hard to see the people that we love suffer like that. And I was really close to her. And it just it just slapped, you know what I mean? We've all lost loved ones. And it really does, thank you, Bird on a Wire. We were really close. And the thing that really was so important, guys, we talked on the phone every Saturday and we never failed to tell each other we loved one another. Because we never know when our last day is. And it's so important to if you love somebody, tell them tomorrow's not promised and we don't want any regrets. And that is no joke for sure. But sometimes, guys, we just have to accept that, God, He gives life. And when our expiration time is up, we're gone. And Brian lost a sister as well. And she will be gone 4 years and a couple months. And it's really hard to lose people. But, we all have an expiration date. And I know that sounds terrible, but I'm just being honest about it. We all have an expiration date. We don't know when our time is coming. And we just have to live each day to the fullest and just love people. And yeah, Brian, he took such good care of his mother. Yeah, I have been officially adopted as Brian's older sister, as well as Laura. So he knows that he has someone to talk to anytime. Because death and grief are hard to deal with. We know that. You know what, guys? The best relative that you can have is the ones that you pick them or they pick you. Yeah, it was really tough, but Brian knows that I love him. He knows that. And you can tell when someone really truly loves you, not the romantic kind, but he knows that. He knows how I feel about him. He knows that he's my little brother, and there'd be some hair flying. I'm pretty protective like that. So let me go ahead and get a picture of this piece. It is vintage as well. Beautiful lacy little pattern on this one. So this is either you can put a cheese ball in here, or back in the day, we all know that a lot of them had that rounded butter, especially in these swanky homes of yesteryear. So, so, okay, guys, we got depression glass, just saying, and it's Anchor Hawking. Mercy, mercy gracious. They said, would you quit blabbing and show it? So, guys, this is so. I remember my aunt having the rounded butter. And look at this, guys. It is so feminine and dainty. This, my friends, is a vintage Anchor Hawking clear glass covered dish, often used as a butter or cheese dish. It features a distinctive pineapple pattern characteristic of Depression era glass. This dish is round, typically measuring around 7 inches in diameter. It is a popular item along with collectors of vintage glassware and decorative dinnerware. It says Anchor Hawking is a well known American glass manufacturer with a long history of producing quality glass products. I know Rebecca, when she gets moved back into her house, she is going to have the biggest unboxing of things that you have ever seen, mostly from yours truly, and I thank you for that. So we do have a two-piece ensemble. You do have down in here, you do have where you can put that in there. It is two-piece. It is Anchor Hawking. It is vintage. It is considered in the Depression glass era. And we're going to start this at 12. I have 12 on the brain tonight. Look at that beautiful. Now, if that's not gorgeous, look at this back in the day, they didn't play around when it comes to decking out their pieces, but it is pressed glass. Beautiful, very feminine looking. Usually, a lot of times with this on the bottom, it gives it away to know that it is a vintage piece. We do have. Did you ever look at the pic I emailed you of our glass pieces in my East? Yes, I saw that. I have boxes and boxes from you to open. Oh, Lord, Rebecca. That could be an all-day event. But this is gorgeous, guys. It is, like I said, it is so feminine. And, you can put good for the holidays that are coming up. You could put a cheese ball in there. And you're like, what if somebody breaks it? Well, sometimes things happen. You could entertain in your home with that. Can you imagine the Christmas lights sparkling off that detail in that piece? Rebecca said 12. So we have Rebecca in at 12. It just screams femininity. So we have Rebecca in at 12. Oh my gosh. Deborah, she'll be, there's no telling how many hours she'll have to break it up in segments because she really got some amazing things. Just saying. So we have Rebecca in at that $12 bid. So if anyone else is interested, we'll just do $1 increments. Who cares? It's, it's this is our time, and I call all the shots, right? So I did give you the specs on it. It can be Mr. Cutesy's place setting. When I do a fancy dinner, everyone needs a chihuahua at the table. I have two chihuahuas, but Mr. Cutesy is her chihuahua, and he is adorable. I've got two of my own, and they are so spoiled, guys. So I don't see any other bids in the chat on this beautiful vintage piece. I know they steal your heart, little stinkers. So we're going to start calling this down for Rebecca. What a beautiful piece that is. So feminine. So we're going once for Rebecca, going twice for Rebecca. Final and last call. And it looks like we are sold to Rebecca. Your name does go into the shoe box. That most shoe boxes are square, but not that one. And congratulations, sweetheart. It's kind of like a twist on, pun, so to speak. That beauty goes to Rebecca as well. Congratulations. And you also get your name in. You never know what you're going to get because I'm going to try to really match it to your personalities. And you never know what's coming. But you know one thing, it's going to be good. Bam. Rebecca, that's yours. And we're going to put your name in the box. In the little shoe box. She's getting rather full, guys. We're going to shake the dickens out of it before we attempt to draw that lucky person, because I'm telling you, I'm going to be killing it. So, Rebecca said, here she goes. Here she goes. Where she's going to stop, you don't know. So we have yet another vintage piece. And since I slept since then, I'm going to have to Google it. Oh, it's your anniversary? 42 years today. Well, congratulations, sweetie. And that's quite the accomplishment today. And Rebecca, I was married 42 years in July. And happy anniversary. A lot of marriages don't make it that far, but there are those exceptions, But that's wonderful, Rebecca, and thank you for bringing that up so we could congratulate you on your wedding anniversary. And we know this is an ice bucket. Having shrimp and watching Shark Week shows, we are doing rain check until life gets back to normal. I know, Rebecca, a lot of times, life is like a roller coaster ride that you can't get off of. It keeps, it's really scary, and you have all these slopes and valleys, and you want to get off the ride, but you just can't, and it takes time sometimes. I totally agree. Alrighty then, we're going to get down. That's it's some kind of an ice container. Let's see. Let's do Ask Mr. Google here. Okay, let's see here. Right, Rebecca, and that's a good thing. It's really good because, let's face it, we face a lot of things in this world, and there's a lot of things that really take us away from what's important. And, you know, thank you, Bird on a Wire. Yep, we both have 42 years under our belt, and it does take commitment. And sometimes, yes, this is a vintage diamond cut ice bucket. It features a diamond pattern at the top. Similar to ice buckets were commonly produced during the mid-century modern period, particularly in the 1950s and 60s. And they say these vintage items are often found in vintage barware collections and are used for serving ice, chilling wine, or as a decorative piece. So this is a vintage waffle cut with an aluminum handle ice bucket. To my knowledge, it does. I see one with a lid, but this never had one. And this is not made for a lid, so it is an open one. So since I'm sticking with that $12 theme, and it does have a hammered look to that, as you can see, we're going to start this at 12 too. Exodus 14:14, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. I know, and sometimes we can't be still. Deborah said 12. She knows she knows exactly what she's looking at. Here's your bottom. Vintage ice bucket. Yeah. I do see some with lids, but this is not that particular one. But it's got a waffle like patterning in it. Really amazing little piece there. So we have Deborah in for 12. And while we're contemplating what we're looking at, I'm going to give you a measurement on it because I believe everyone wants to know exactly what they're getting, or at least, it's just really common. It's coming in at 5.5 inches. It is approximately about 4.5 inches deep. It does have a hammered aluminum, and this is original, guys, to the piece. It's not been replaced. It is original, and it is about a good 18 inches around. So we have Miss Deborah in at that $12 bid. It's in really good shape, guys. So we're going to start calling this down. We can bid in $1 increments. I'm going to call this, isn't that beautiful? So we do absolutely, Deborah said yes to this at that $12 bid. I must leave. I must leave you in 6 minutes for dinner and Shark Week. Okay. So I am seeing Deborah in for that $12 bid. This is amazing. The handle is in excellent condition. Usually these get banged up and beat up. And yes, it is original to the piece. So we're not going to play around here. We're going to start calling this down to Deborah. So we're going to go once to Deborah for $12. We're going twice to Deborah. Final and last call. And it appears that Deborah this little beauty will be coming your way. And congratulations, sweetie. I've run out of paper here. So Deborah, she gets that one. How beautiful is that? $12. And your name while I'm thinking of it. I would so put ice in that. And Deborah is going in the bin for the win, right, Deborah? So we're going to put Deborah in there. Congratulations. That is amazing, by the way. And with the original handle, you're like, what? That does that ever happen? Does it really ever happen? Not normally, guys. And Deborah goes into that drawing along with the other folks in there. Let me attach this to her piece. You know, when I invoice people, I don't just say, a glass ice bucket. I get into detail so that they will know exactly what they're getting. I don't say, well, ice bucket. I go into detail. I believe in giving all details. And that's how I invoice. You will get a very descriptive invoice, as a matter of fact. That's how I roll, guys. So, another sip here. Alrighty then, let's go into, let's see. Oh, I know what I was going to bring up. Now, I'm a sucker for a box. Now, let's face it, I've always been that way. So I did bring this up. I have this downstairs in my pantry. This is very, very vintage. And this is made in Romania, guys. And I'll tell you what it is. Yes, it does have a few little nicks on it. But I know a lot of you ladies like to sew. So we have this top level here. Let me just take that. We have this top level right here. And I'm going to knock something over here in a minute. And it folds out. It's hard to hold that camera. And she folds out. Look at that. And you guys know what this is? Put that camera. I don't mean to make you guys dizzy. You're like, she's making me sick with that camera. Goodness sake. Sorry, guys. Let me get this camera where it should be. This is a vintage sewing box. And we all know it is a sewing box. But at one time, guys, it had legs. But they only had one leg in there. And who needs legs? Really? The legs are missing, but it does say very plainly right there where this was made. Made in Romania. Good Lord. Right there, Romania. And yes, it does have a few little condition issues. I'll need to take a picture of this. It did have legs, but who needs legs when you already have I need a left leg right now. But the legs, I think there were two in there. And like I said, who needs legs? And this, I know it's vintage. I'm going to take a quick picture because you have a base right here. And I just thought it was amazing. I knew it was from Romania, so I picked it up. and let me make a picture. And I decided that, it's been in my pantry. It's not doing anyone any good. Let me back it up here. So I'll tell you, but I know it's vintage and it is considered a sewing box. I do remember that much. But you could put in there anything you wanted. If, I think it would polish up rather nicely. Hey, Mia. Like I said, it has no legs, but do you really need legs when you already have a base on that? So let's search the image. It is from, holy cow. That's not it. I see one. It's supposed to have legs on it, but it was so good, guys. I'm like, who needs legs? Really? And these do sell for quite a bit. And I can't find the exact one, but I guarantee it's vintage. So let me see if I can't. I got a lot going on here. So, you could use your imagination on what you wanted this for. Rebecca, you have a wonderful anniversary, and thank you so much for coming in. Go spend time with your hubby and Mr. Cutesy, because I know Mr. Cutesy is going to be right in the middle of you, right? But this is amazing, guys. Let's give you a view. Look at the wood. I mean, my gosh. So, with that being said, and I do ship pirate ship. Oh, yes, Mia, that would make a wonderful jewelry box. Okay. Like I said, we've talked about, it is old. It's from Romania. It's supposed to have had legs, but it doesn't. But who cares? Because it's already has a base to sit on. So let me give you a measurement, guys. And thank you, everyone, for being here. I really appreciate you. I think we've had a lot of fun, and I have really enjoyed you guys. Okay, let me get it to the right point here. So we're looking at, once I get I've got measuring tapes everywhere. We're looking at 16 and a half inches, guys. And I will give you the height on it. Now, keep in mind, guys, I do ship with pirate ship. And I'm going to get you some killer deals on your shipping. And it's just about 2 marks past the 7 inches. Because I do ship with pirate ship. I do bag in a box. It's the cheapest way to go. I mean, it's, you guys know, anyone that's ever bought from me knows about, and I'm always out to get you the best deal. And the good news is about this piece, there is enough room to get this in a box, adding some padding to it, and get it to you safely. Okay. How amazing. Look at the condition of that wood. They said, would you shut up and call the price? I am going to start this at $25. This is crazy. I might be crazy, but 25. Is Mia in the market for sewing box right now? Maybe. She is, in fact. Well, Mia, honey, you can't go. The wood is just amazing. Sure, Mia, I sure would. I would absolutely, sweetheart. So I had this in my You're Fine, Mia. And Lenore, would you please drop my email in the chat? The thing that most people get confused on is It's Bradford. There is no D in there. Well, then, Mia said 25, and I don't blame you. The condition of this, I mean, the sky's the limit to what you want to put in there. So we have Mia in at that $25 bid. You go, girl. This is a great deal. We know all the specs about it. We know it's missing its legs. But like I said, who needs the legs? And we know where this is from. We do have nice handles. And of course, a lot of times, if you take some of that Murphy's oil soap, or you could fill in some of these with markers. Well, you're in the right place at the right time. So we do have Mia in at 25. And if you're going to store your sewing things, why not do it in top-notch fashion, right? So we're going to start calling this down unless I see any other bids in the chat to Miss Mia. This is rock solid. This is no. So we're going to give it just a few minutes to account for the lag that we know that YouTube has, amongst other things. Just saying. So we're going to go once to Miss Mia. I just brought this upstairs just hours ago. So we're going to go once to Mia for that $25. That is still of a deal. Going twice. Final and last call. And it looks like we are sold. She wants a sewing box, and I don't know what kind of sewing you do, Mia, but I might have some things to put in there for you as a bonus. So you just never know. And thank you so much, and congratulations. And guess what? Your name is going, when I find the tape, is going in the drawing that is going to be held at the end of the show, at the end of the night, for something. I'm not going to state what it is because I'm going to match it to that person. Thank you so much, Mia, and I think you'll enjoy this. It is amazing. The legs are missing, but who cares? And I may add some little doodads in there for you. I appreciate that. Because I probably have some things that. So there you have it. Mia's first purchase. Thank you so much, sweetheart. So now something is right at my feet. Yes, I will put something in there for her. Because Lord knows if I don't have it, you don't need it, or it's absolutely illegal, right? Right. So we know we are in the season of drinking tea and lemonade. And what better way to do that? I believe this is Anchor Hawking, but I'm going to make sure. I believe it is. Let me look on the bottom. Usually the Anchor Hawking has that very distinctive mark on the bottom. Unless it's early Anchor Hawking, like Ellie scored a uranium glass piece that was absolutely very early Anchor Hawking. Do we have a winner here? Why, of course, it's Anchor Hawking. I see the anchor. And it's an anchor, and then you have the H that intersects. It's Anchor Hawking, and we know about Anchor Hawking. So we have this beautiful, it's like a light amber color. It is vintage. You do have a texture bottom. It is a pitcher. And I could imagine having iced tea in here. This holds a lot. Thank you, Mia. When I dig through the archives, there's no telling what's going to come out of it, but it's always good. I just believe in, I spoil people, right, Brian? He said, listen to her call me out. So it's 9 inches tall. He's like, I can't believe she just said that. He knows me. And it's about 16.5 inches around. It does hold a lot. Let me think. I am going to start this at an insane price of $10. Look how much this holds. I would say that would hold a good, I don't know, I'm not good at measurements, but it'll hold quite a bit. So it is anchor hocking. It has the little symbol on the bottom. It's textured. It does need a bath, which I would be more than happy to do so. Then you have the sides on there on the pouring to where it would be rather smooth. It's a very nice one, guys. Minnie said 10 because I think Minnie likes to. She can see, I can see the iced tea and the lemonade in that as we speak. So we have Minnie in at $10. I know me, I am sweet, but don't tell anybody. No, I'm just messing with you. I am just messing with you. I'm kind of, every now and then when I really like you, I'll tease you. So if that's the case, I like everyone in the chat. So we do have Minnie in at that $10 bid. That's amazing. It's anchor hocking. It is vintage. So seeing no other interest, we're going to start calling this down to Minnie for $10. That's one heck of a deal, and it's glass. Anymore, you can't even buy anything plastic for that. So we're going to start calling this down for Miss Minnie for that $10 bid. So we're going once to Miss Minnie for $10. Oh, thank you, Bird on a Wire. Going once, and we're going twice. Last call and fair warning on this. And it looks like Minnie is going to be serving iced tea or lemonade in a beautiful anchor hocking pitcher. And congratulations. So to Minnie for 10. That's a good deal on that. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a lot of fun with you guys, and I really appreciate your support and coming in and all those thumbs up, and you're amazing, just saying. Now, guys, sometimes when I have larger items that are glass, it takes me a while. Ask Minnie, poor lady. And and I'm so very meticulous about what I do. And I really, after you've sold so much glass, you kind of get a rhythm on how to do it. I didn't say I was the fastest gun in the West, but I am the most. Once I get on a roll, it's hard to stop. Yes, Mia, sweetheart, it's right there. Make sure you put 2 F's and no D and include that 5, and there we have it. Thank you, guys. You're amazing. Just saying. And usually, guys, anyone that knows me knows that when I say something, I mean it. There's nothing fake or facade about me. I'm just me. I say what's on my mind. Sometimes it might get me in trouble. Thank you, Miss Mia. But no, I'm the most sincere person you'll ever meet. So, all right, let's see. Mia, sweetheart, I'm not seeing it at the moment. Just make sure you put in that. Sometimes we get excited when we're in an auction, and I'm so guilty of that. Try it one more time, sweetheart. I'm not seeing it. So it's GEANABRAFFORD5 @gmail.com. I've been guilty of being excited and sending emails to the wrong people. So moving on. I'm so glad it's cooling off, guys. It was 113 here today. Okay, Mia. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, guys. This is so beautiful. Just saying. So let me get a quick picture. I had to go on my phone and I had so many pictures of items and I had to clear some out. But oh my God, this is the most yummy thing that you have ever seen. Okay, let's go in here. And there's Michelle Bell. I see you haven't received your new ring yet because you can tilt your hand. There's another sweetheart, Shell Bell. We have had many a laugh. Okay, guys. No brace required, right? No sling or no. Oh, this is amazing, guys. Just saying. And welcome in, Shell Bell. Okay, we have got this gorgeous, and I mean, ultimately beautiful. This, guys, is an Ellie Smith amber glass moon and star pedestal compote. As you can see, you have the round at the top and the stars. Vintage, it's a candy bowl. There again, you can tell it's old because none of us today ever had a candy bowl that small. So it is in perfect vintage condition. It is a beauty. It is an Ellie Smith moon and star pedestal. Oh my God, this is so feminine, guys. The way that it's made, and it is an amber color. Back in the day, everything was decked out. All right, sweetie. I know you did because I got a notification, and thank you, dear heart. I appreciate that. So we are doing this Ellie Smith amber glass moon and star pedestal compote. Let me see if I can nail down a date on this. Mid-century modern. Ellie Smith. So we're just going with, this is gorgeous for 12 bucks. Yeah, Shelbell, there may be a few things you might like to, and this is a starting bid, Ellie Smith, Moon and Stars, compote, it's for candy. You can use it for whatever you want. Look how gorgeous that is. The moon is represented by the top row and the stars is represented by the bottom. You have an open base on the bottom. I'll give you a measurement. It is to die for, just saying. We're looking at about a couple marks over 6.5 inches tall, and the depth of the bowl itself is approximately about 2.5 inches, and it is across. We are looking at approximately 6 inches across. It is an Ellie Smith. I always like to deal in. Yeah, it can be used for different things, and it's so lovely. I like to, when I get glass, I don't know if it's just an inkling or whatever. It's usually vintage. It usually has a name behind it. And I've been real lucky on getting these pieces. I do shop at a one source place, and it is a beauty, I'm telling you. I've got on my camera here, I have a light on there as well. But it is gorgeous. And some people say, well, if I get it, I'll have to dust it. But anyway, there that's beautiful. I mean, it's Ellie Smith, vintage candy bowl. I know sometimes people like to collect certain colors of glass. I've been trying to branch out a little bit more and try to locate different colors. And yeah, so Brian tonight is the Lusterware king. Just saying. Brian gets in here with us females, and he runs with the best of us. Just saying. Okay. All right. Let me empty some of these little doodads. I tell you, it all when I say it always is worse before it gets better, that is a very true statement. One of these days, I'm going to get organized, but I might miss it. You never know. I am just dabble, and I just love these vintage items, and obviously you guys do too. And it's got a little dust in there. I'm not the only guilty party, right? So, this is another amazing vintage piece. Maybe this is what I was thinking about. Oh man, this is something else. And when I first looked at it, I thought, that doesn't look like the handle that goes on there. But when I Googled it, yes, it was. So, I thought it was amazing. I like to clean a lot of the stuff. There's Bruce and Dennis's channel. Are you already done, Bruce? Don't tell me you're done because I was going to visit you. I did get my box today. How amazing. Okay. I'm going to give you a measurement right quick. I know, Mia, and when I get organized, we always have good intentions, but sometimes it falls through the cracks. We're women are multitaskers, and welcome in, Bruce. It's good to see you. We're all multitaskers. Let's admit it. And the difference between my husband, he does it too, but he has to focus on one thing because it drives me nuts when something's unfinished. So this is over 11 and a half inches long. It is vintage. And I'll have to take a picture because I don't remember. Over 8 inches wide and approximately man, this is coming in about 5 inches deep, and it is. I know Brian, bless his heart, he is a big fan. I'm telling you, he is a fan. He said he couldn't resist. Well, sometimes, guys, we can't. Life is short, and if you can afford it, and a hitman doesn't have to come after you, then you're good. Buy it. Shoot. Life is too short, guys. This is beautiful. I thought this was lovely. And I was suspicious of the handle, but I don't think it is original to the piece because I did check it out. But oh, this is something else. And I was very suspicious when I seen that handle, but it is original. Okay. It led me in the wrong direction, but this is vintage and it does have a frosted texture to some of the fruit on there. That is the original handle, might I add. I was suspicious. It's like a rattan type handle. So it does have grapes on it. It does have pears. It does have a rattan bamboo wicker handle. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. And it is vintage. And you're not. This is not no small potatoes. Brian said he's. We're gonna put Brian in glass gel until he builds that shelf. Brian's got to get busy on a shelf, but look how beautiful. You have a banana, strawberries, what appears to be an apple, and grapes, and that is frosted. This is the original handle. It's not a counterfeit because I did look it up. There's inside, it would be beautiful on a table, but being that this is so much larger, I'm going to have to start this one at 15, guys. I think it's more than fair for what it is. And look at the size of this thing. A candy bowl. That's my kind of candy bowl, Deborah. I'll take that. But look at the scalloping on it. That is beautiful, guys. That is gorgeous. You've got your pears. It is gorgeous now, and that's a still the deal. Strawberries, your fruit, and this has like a frosted texture on it. I think I love this part of it too. I think it's so beautiful the way they've got that. I seen it and had to get it. A fruit bowl or candy bowl, cereal bowl. You know, you might like your cereal and you can put cereal in that. It's a little on the dirty side, but it is beautiful though. Full of potential. You know, it's all about what you're looking for, I guess. So we will go ahead and pass on this one. Let me see. Rebecca left before I could bring this Fenton out. Well, let's do this. So here we have, I don't even remember what. Oh, how adorable. Oh my goodness, I'm almost ashamed to let me wipe that out a little bit. Here we have, I don't think it's, if you like the ocean and the sea and all that good stuff, and whoops. And if you like a really pretty little box that's full of, you know, I have this one here. As you can see, it has 2 starfish, 2 shells. It does have boxes in the bottom that come out like that, and you open it up, and you have some. There you have a shelf, and this is rather large, but this would be rather easy to ship in the same breath. And this, guys, this is like new. I think this was made, guys, to sit on something. There's no hanging apparatus to the back of that. And we're going to start, this is another crazy deal. We're going to start this one at 18. It is in immaculate condition. It does have 2 drawers on the bottom. It's supposed to be weathered look like that. That's the look. It's weathered. It's made to be that way. If you are a person that likes to paint or likes to put decals on people, on stuff, this would be perfect. If you are a budding artist and you just want to change the looks of it a little bit, there's your canvas right there. It is beautiful. Let me give you a measurement on it. What did I? Well, duh, I was wearing it. So, guys, I'm still here. I'm just behind this piece. So, here we go. This is would be like a home decor piece, and this would be very easily shipped, easier than some of the other things I've experienced. We have a 15-inch height on this beauty and is approximately just a smidge over 10 inches. You have two drawers on the bottom. It has that weathered look on purpose because that's how it's made. I mean, if you like to paint, hey, more power to you. You could do anything with it. You could use decals on it. You could paint that. And it is distressed on purpose because that's the way it looks. So I believe that's a steal of a deal. Beautiful, beautiful little round knobs on there, as you can see. Has that distressed look. And there she is. And it's like new, guys. I mean, it's not beat up. It's not, it's in good condition. Very smooth surface. Have this on the top. It would be neat to take like an old fashioned knob or something that's wooden and paint it and put it on top of that to really make this thing pop. I mean, it pops anyway because it's beautiful. But there we have it. It's about that big. It's not really heavy. It would be a breeze to ship. Of course, we do our doors. We would secure those. And there we have it. So if you change your mind, you know that email, the one that has the two F's in it. You can email me later if you would like. Okay, guys, you know what time it is? It's dollar time. It is dollar time here in Henryville, Indiana. And I'm getting ready to rock your world when I show you what this is. Dollar time. Get your fingers nimble and make sure you are in live chat because this is wonderful. Now, to say this is vintage, this could be an antique. I don't know. But I've looked it up and they say that it's a cigarette holder. But look how little those blocks are. This is vintage through and through. Well, that's what they say it is a cigarette holder. But you could use it for anything you wanted to. Check out this top. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? And guess what? It's starting at $1, and I'm going to give you some measurements. This is amazing. You could use it as a trinket box if you would like to. Put it by your bedside if you have jewelry on and you just don't want to get up to put it away. Then you can use this. 6.5 inches long and 4 inches across. It is vintage. It's supposed to be a cigarette box, but those are awful small, just saying. But back then I guess they did their own, and today they do their own, but we won't talk about that. But anyway, here is the beautiful ends of that. It is gorgeous. It is very old, might I add. So the time is it's really pretty, really, and you can tell that there's a lot of age associated with that piece. You can just tell. Beautiful for any special area, correct? And if we want to get real technical and get down to the real nitty gritty, we'll just take a picture. And a lot of people want to know what era things are coming from. Lenore said $1. She's in. Minnie came back in at 2. So I'm going to give you the specs on this. Because if you're like me, you're always curious about the age of something. Hey, Dawn, welcome in, sweetheart. We're doing Dollarama. Oh my God, guys. I'm not telling you what to do, and I'm not a pushy sales lady. Okay, Lenora's out, but listen to this. This appears to be a vintage or antique crystal glass box with a lid likely used as a dresser or vanity, possibly a cigarette or trinket box. It is made of cutter pressed clear crystal glass featuring a decorative pattern on both the base and the lid. And it could date back to mid-century, possibly the 1970s or even earlier, like the Art Deco. And welcome in, Maritza. Welcome in. Now, Art Deco, that really resonates with me because I love that period. So I'm telling you guys, this is amazing, just saying. And so where are we out? Minnie is at $2. So I'm going to put this beauty up and look at that. I mean, you have that. It's like either a pineapple or an acorn or something. Isn't that gorgeous? Just really beautiful. There's your bottom. And I just thought it was beautiful. I've had it for a while. It's time for it to say adios, amigos. So we have Minnie in it too, and Minnie is going to absolutely get this for $2 unless I see another bid in the chat. We're going to count it down, y'all. This is a deal, still the deal. You say somebody called the police because somebody just stole that, right? So, all right, we're going to start. Minnie's going to get this for $2, and I know she's going to love it. So we're going to start calling this down for Minnie. So we're going to go once to Minnie for $2. That is a steal. Congratulations, Minnie. I'm so happy. Going once, going twice. Final and fair warning. And Minnie has knocked it out of the park because it's sold to Minnie. Congratulations. Talk about knocking it out of the park. Congratulations, sweetheart. Minnie, you could very well have an antique. Very well. And I say that very, very, very earnestly. Congratulations on your $2 piece. Man, that was a steal of a deal. I've had it a while, and there's no sense in me keeping things. $2. Dollarama night's been really exciting, you know. We're going to put that in there for Miss Minnie, and we're going to move on. So, okay, guys. Did I put you at? No, hang on. Hang on to your hats. You're in for a Fenton piece that is milk glass. And I know this is Fenton. I know I thought I had Fenton in the past, but I absolutely know this is Fenton. And we're putting Minnie in the hat box. You know, boxes are square, but this is definitely a shoe box, right? And welcome back, Brian. We'll give it here at the end. We'll give it a good shake, shake, shake. So, drum roll. This is Fenton. And I'm telling you, these go for major money, but not tonight because let me look at this for just a second because I don't remember. We have a beautiful Fenton piece. Look at the way this is made. Reminds me of a pie crust, but it's beautiful milk glass. And here's your lid, just as feminine as it can be. Gorgeous. Fits like a glove. Let me go in here and look. So, because I know it's in my gallery, I'm going to have to go in here and really clean this up. So, a lot of people collect different colors of Fenton. You know, there's cranberry, there's several colors. Holy. This is vintage. It is hobnail. It's a large hobnail candy nut dish. And it is absolutely Fenton. And it's early Fenton, as a matter of fact. Um, the prices are all over the board. And there's some really high quotes up in this on this. It's milk glass. I may be getting ready to do something very foolish, but hey, mm, okay, guys, this opportunity is knocking. Back, my little senior doggy needed her diaper and her pain pill all before bed. We have a Fenton, and let me give you a measurement. I was really amazed. You guys, this is your night because I'm getting ready to rock your world with this price on this piece. 9.5 inches tall, including the top. So get ready. Make sure you're in live chat. 5 inches and approximately 2 inches deep. This is absolutely without a doubt Fenton. It is milk glass. Yeah, our little pets are so. This is very early Fenton, as a matter of fact, guys. So tonight we're going to put this up for $25. And we're talking two pieces, hobnail, vintage Fenton, early Fenton, 25. Now, if you do your look at some of the comps on that, you're going to say, Jiminy Cricket, she's really put that at a good price. Thanks, Dawn. She's just having a hard day today. She usually feels better the next day. Oh, because, we have to really look at what things are selling for and then adjust. But it's $25 starting bid. It's beautiful. It does have some, and that's considered a Fenton hobnail. Boy, wouldn't I like to make a run in on a big collection of this. I found the cranberry Fenton one time at a Salvation Army, and they didn't know what they had. And when I Googled it, it was absolutely Fenton. So, what did I take? Did I take it and run? I definitely said yes to that. So, anywho, there she is, guys. I've seen this. This is a deal, and a lot of people would love to get a hold of something like that. So we're going to let that kind of go for just a minute while I get a drink here. So, in the event that someone changes their mind, you can. I don't know why my email's not in the corner. I don't know what happened to it. If you change your mind and you feel like that, hey, I did the comps, I know what that sells for and has sold for in the past, then just shoot me an email and I will be glad to ship that right to you. After, I'll invoice you if you're interested. So there's that. We'll put that Fenton piece right back over here in a safe spot. So I think Dollar Rama was rather fun. Let me see here. I have an entire bag of vintage scarves somewhere, and I put them somewhere, and I don't know what I did with them, but some of them are pretty. Here we go. So you guys probably seen a short, and this really amazed me because this particular item had 2K views on a short, and I'm like, whoa. But I'll show you guys. This is a glass salt and peppers, silver plated tops in a set of 8. It's FB Rogers Silver Company. This video, guys, got 2K views, and I was like, oh my gosh. But look, you see it right there. And here we have these little precious and they're in the original box. FB Rogers, they are crystal, and the tops of these are silver plated. So, with that being said, I am going to start these beautiful salt and peppers at $12. You're getting the original box. They are silver plated, and they're pretty darn gorgeous. All the stickers are on there. That is crystal. Comes in the original box. It's like lightning striking twice in the same place. And they put some tape across there, but they are crystal. Look how beautiful. And those tops are silver plated. Aren't those amazing? In the original box. Elliot, let's see. FB Rogers, very fancy. Reminds me of something that you might, for a wedding, put on the bride and groom's main table and for the relatives. Salt and peppers, they're in excellent vintage condition. I've seen those on a few platforms go for a pretty penny. You have the original box, their condition issues, but to me it's very minimal. It's that right there, but look how beautiful that box is. There you have your number F985 Japan. Beautiful piece. Who would ever thought a little piece like this would generate 2K views? But hey, I think, guys, a lot of times when something gets a lot of views, I think people share it, because I think that is the secret right there. I think a lot of people share these videos, and it has a broader reach than what we even realize. It really does. And you could have knocked me over with a feather. So, guys, I think I'm going to conclude tonight, but we do have that drawing. And here we have our shoe box. I'm going to shake the dickens out of it. You do not have to be present to win. And wouldn't you love to get that email saying that you won something that I'm about to pick out that you never know what that's going to be? I had something that, where's that at? Hey guys, let me do a quick search scan here. Oh, I found something. Okay, guys, the winner of the drawing, if I could find, darn it, what did I do with that? I'm losing it. Let me open this thing up here. No, they're not in there, but look at what you're going to get if your name is drawn out of that box. And he opens up. And he is kind of blinged out. He's got rhinestones on his tail. So that lizard is up for grabs, and we're going to find out. He's got red eyes. He's got red eyes. And we're just going to find out who is going to be the winner of that. So anyway, here we have our shoe box. And like I said, we usually associate a box being square. But technically it is a shoe box because it has a shoe on it. And we're going to shake, shake, shake. Good luck, everybody. And welcome in, Merche. Somebody's going to be walking with a beautiful lizard. It's really different. I thought it was unique. And, you know, I think today's trend is people like snake jewelry and lizard jewelry and animal jewelry. So here we go, guys. I'm going to mix it up good, and here we go. I only got one, and the winner is Brian. Yay! Throw the confetti. Yay, Brian won. That lizard is going to be sent to Brian. You can set him on your that rhinestones. Congratulations. He might be blinged out, but hey, Brian is the winner. Congratulations. And you see me shake it. That's yours, Brian. That is yours. So, winner. You winner, chicken dinner, Brian. Winner. You get a lizard. A blinged out, but still, I think it could be masculine or feminine. So I think that fits the bill. So, with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead. I've had a marvelous time, and also it's enameled on the inside. I've had a fabulous time with you guys. The Dollarama may be something that will return because it's so fun. I've had a fabulous time with you guys. I appreciate you being here. Okay, Mia, I know what you're getting, and I have a lot of it. So, with that being said, thank you for that hint, Mia, because I do have a lot of that. So, I really appreciate each and every one of you. You make my night. We had fun. We had Dollarama. We had a pretty nice giveaway. Thank you so much for your purchases. You truly make a difference. Love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. You guys have a fabulous rest of your night. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.